Ladies and gentlemen, it is Friday, January 23rd, 2026. Here's what's coming up on the Owen Report today. So the left-right paradigm is kind of back, unfortunately, because we all know it's fake. We all know the left-right paradigm is fake, but the left is out here just blatantly lying again, making things up. And now we have multiple examples where they said one thing 2 years ago, or in one case with Dianne Feinstein 30 years ago, and now they're saying a completely different thing. So we're going to probably cover some of that. We'll probably cover a little bit of that today. You know, it's amazing, though, as we sit here and watch the foreign policy that is so unpopular, and they just continue to double down. But it looks like the Israeli loyalists just feel so ignorant right now, and I guess that's because they know that they have Trump in office and that he's going to prioritize whatever it is that they want. But they're so arrogant now, they're so entitled now that they just rub it in your face. And then they sit here and they say, oh, gee, why are we so unpopular? Why is this anti-Semitism issue becoming such a big deal now? Why is it so popular? Well, because you guys are entitled brats and you're rubbing it in our face. It's obnoxious. And guess what? The internet is forever. We can see what you say. So you say the most outlandish, arrogant, entitled brat things, and then you cry and whine, and we all see it. We're sick of it. It's really not that complicated. But I guess we gotta explain it again. We got a Dan Bongino clip. He's coming back on his show. He's coming back on his show, guys. And he's got scores to settle. He's got scores to settle. Ugh. He's got scores to settle. Okay. Interesting thing happening in Florida in the governor's race, folks. I'm telling you, this thing, we had this thing spotted from a mile away. Now here we are. A lot of drama with the TPUSA post Charlie Kirk assassination. We may be getting into some of that. I don't know if we're going to get into all of it, but we're going to probably touch on some of it today, where Andrew Tate had an interesting clip on a recent interview that he did. So we're probably going to look at that. The TikTok story. The TikTok exchange is now official, ladies and gentlemen. The TikTok exchange is now official. We'll tell you what it means. I think we all know what it means, though, don't we? I think we all already know what it's all about. But I can tell you what's happening in the immediate aftermath. I can tell you what's happening with it because we're already seeing the difference in the short period of time. So we'll look at that. Honestly, I've got this stack. Here's what we're going to try to do today. I'm really hitting this redundancy factor. I think that you guys probably are too with the news, this redundancy factor. So I want to break it today. I've got the news and I've got it all sorted out, but I kind of want to break the redundancy factor today. And if I'm sick of it, then you're probably sick of it too. So we're going to take a lot of phone calls is what we're going to do. We are going to take a lot of phone calls today. And then maybe we'll pick up some of the leftovers that we've had on the desk for a long time. It's going to be kind of a toss around show today. We're going to break the redundancy factor. We're going to open the phone lines. We're going to have a good Friday.
This news update was brought to you by OwenSchroyer.store, the official site for Owen Report merchandise.
So I've got a bunch of friends that are really into the precious metals industry, really into it. And I'm not just talking about our friends at Allegiance Gold. We're not just talking about them. I'm talking about just friends that I see about town, whatever, at the gym, the places where we're regulars. And they're all going nuts. And I was talking to somebody last night about this at the gym. I said, hey, watch out. We're going to have record high gold and silver. It's going to happen again tomorrow. He said, no way. Can't be again tomorrow. I said, you'll see. Well, guess what? Record high gold and silver today, folks. Record high gold and silver. And now I think what's happening is the people that have the fear of missing out, they're trying to get in. So I've been telling you, beat the rush. Beat the rush. Go to protectwithowen.com. Beat the rush. Give our friends at Allegiance Gold a call, 844-790-9191. 844-790-9191. If you're not ready to make an investment, if you're not ready to move out of your 401k, IRA, savings, what have you, just give them a call. They'll answer all of your questions. They'll make sure that you're totally comfortable, well-researched, understood before you make that move. But the offer, $5,000 in free gold and silver with qualified investments, the offer now, it just keeps getting less and less weight with every passing day. That amount of gold and silver is less and less. So, hey, I'm not trying to get you into the fear of missing out here, but let's be honest, this thing keeps going up, and it looks like everybody's racing in, ladies and gentlemen. And the smart ones get in first. The smart ones get in first. And that's why you're already seeing billionaires, major institutions, even governments, central banks. They've been moving into gold and silver for months, even years now. And now everybody else is starting to catch up to the trend. So if this is something you've been thinking about, if this is something you're ready to do, procrastinate no longer. Go to protectwithowen.com, protectwithowen.com. Still got questions? Just give them a call, 844-790-9191. That's our friends at Allegiance Gold. A+, ladies and gentlemen, A+ with the Better Business Bureau. Doesn't get any better than that. Protect your wealth and your freedom with Allegiance Gold because no one else will.
Turn my system on.
On the cutting edge of news and analysis, the Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
All right, guys. I know I've been saying this, and maybe it's true for you too. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out when we open up the phone lines. I'm reading the chat today, and y'all are obviously completely insane. Completely and totally insane. But that's good. I like it. I like the insanity in the chat. I enjoy it. No, you guys are probably sick of the redundancy. And maybe that's why I'm looking at some of these left-right paradigm stories. And, I mean, there's no denying it. These Democrats, these liberals, they're just such scum. It's just true. It's like you look at the issues that you have with the right. You look at the issues you have with Republicans. It's like, yeah, okay, they're corrupt. A lot of lying, covering up, disinformation, deception that goes on there. Okay, we see it. It's been really bad. Looks like they sell us out, just like every other politician. But it's like the left is just, these people are just such scum. And it's one of those times where you're just reminded what absolute lying filth these leftist liberals are. And then you sit here and you watch some of these videos with these ICE agents having to deal with these people. And it's like, I like to cut it down the middle. I like to call it as I see it. I do that. It's so hard to feel any connection to what these leftists are complaining about, even when it might be legitimate. It's just like, I want nothing to do with you. It's like, even when you guys might be close to being on the right side of an issue, it's like, even when they're flirting with maybe having a legitimate concern over something, it's just, I just can't be with you. I just can't do it. So we got a little bit of that today. And this is the example right here. So we get the truth about the story yesterday with this poor kid. I mean, the poor kid. ICE shows up. His father is an illegal alien, a criminal. And the guy takes off and he abandons his kid. He abandons the child. So the child is standing out here in the cold all by himself. What would you like ICE to do? I'm just curious for the liberals. Did you want him to stay out in the cold? Did you want him to go home and, take care of yourself, little boy? Yeah, you can cook dinner and clean and everything. You'll be fine. I mean, what? So they say he was kidnapped. He was kidnapped. Just absolute liars. And I've got AOC saying it. AOC said it last night from the Capitol steps. This was after we figured out the truth. This was after we figured out that the father took off and tried to flee and left his kid behind. But yeah, they care so much about the kids, guys. They care so much about the kids. They really do. They care so much about the kids that they didn't mind that 500,000 of them were trafficked across the southern border. That's how much they care. And I get it. I see you guys in the chat. I'm with you. It's like we beat the left, right? We beat the left. We won the election. We shouldn't be dealing with them. They shouldn't even be in our peripheral vision. They should be totally out of sight. We should be ignoring them, mogging them, running over them. I'm with you on that. I am totally with you on that. I'm at the front of that thought train. But it's just like, here we go again. It's just, they need to be called out. Even in this time period, they need to be called out. And I see now there's this trend. And we'll go to AOC. Can I just say this too? Guys, it's a Friday. I'm actually in a really good mood today. I'm feeling really good today. Feeling really great. I don't even want to talk politics. I got to be honest with you guys. I got to be honest with you. I'm political fatigued out today. It's been too much. It's been too much. And we did 2 overtime shows this week. I'm working on some other things behind the scenes right now. I think we're going to have some big announcements. For February, guys. I think we're going to have some big announcements for February with some things that I'm looking at and that I'm working on behind the scenes. So I'm really excited for that. And it's actually funny, something that happened today. I'm just untethered. I'm just going fully untethered for Friday, guys. I'm just going fully untethered. I had been talking about, this is a funny story, and maybe DMT joins us today. He can attest to this. And I just found out, and whatever, I'll say it to them. It's fine. I don't even care. I'm totally untethered today. I'm totally loose. It's a Friday. We're just going untethered. I'm just letting go today. I'm going off. So my former employer announced that they have just launched. I saw Harrison Smith, who I am friends with. We get along. We're good friends. Despite what somebody might have said. And I saw Harrison Smith share this, that they launched a new smelling salts today. Guys, I swear to you, it's and this is the second time this has happened now. So I had to have a call. I had to have a meeting about this earlier today. This is the second time this happened. I was in the final stages of launching my own smelling salts product. I'm not even kidding you. We were in the final stages of launching our own smelling salts. And then they announced it today. So we had an emergency meeting. I said, hey, that's right. Pull the plug. And the problem with the smelling salts is that it's classified as hazardous material. So you have to get a different type of insurance. And so the World Independent News Network, which is the owner, the company that the Owen Report is under the umbrella of, we had to go through a process of getting insurance, and it's a process. And then when you're kind of at the end of the year and like switching quarters, you kind of have to time it all out right too. So we said, okay, let's wait, and we'll take care of some of this stuff. We'll do it at the right time, and then we'll launch it. And then I saw that today. I'm like, all right, pull the plug, whatever. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to compete with it. And maybe we will still do it, because the bit that I was going to do, and this was kind of, I didn't even know that Rogan actually did this. I didn't know Rogan did this, but apparently Rogan does this bit where he does the smelling salts and then goes on air. That's what I wanted to do. That was my plan, is I was going to hit the smelling salts and go on air. And the whole thing was going to be like, we go through the normal routine. And so the normal routine, as you knew it, we do the 5-minute intro of the show. We do our first live read, and then we play the music. And when you had that bang, I was going to hit the smelling salts. So it was kind of going to be a little bit we did. And then I saw that today, and I was like, well, now it looks like we're going to be chasing their tail, and I don't even want to deal that. So we'll see. We may end up still doing it, but anyway, we had to have an emergency business meeting over that today, and I said, all right. I didn't even know that. I didn't know that happened the other day, guys. So you're saying that in the chat. I was not aware of any of that. So anyway, it was going to look like we were chasing them, and I didn't even want that image. I didn't want those optics. So I said, pull the plug. But there were some other things we were working on, and I said, hey, here's the lesson. This is the business lesson. This is the business lesson for us today. And maybe this is a good lesson for you out there too. If you have a good idea, just do it. Just do it. And, sometimes, look, I'm not trying to give you bad advice. I'm not trying to put you in a compromising situation. But you know what? Sometimes if you have a good business idea, you just need to do it and then deal with the strings and everything that needs to happen. But just do it. So we had an emergency meeting over this. Let's pull the plug on that, and let's focus on these two other things, and let's go pedal to the metal. And it's like, hey, we got to do it. I said, no, pedal to the metal. I want all of these things done by this weekend, and then hopefully we may be able to have an announcement next week, but definitely by February, there's going to be a couple announcements as far as products are concerned, proprietary products are concerned. So just a little lesson in business. We're on month number 4 here, the Owen Report on the Win Network. So, you learn, you win some, you lose some. But that's good. Schroyer salts. I forgot the name we were going to go with. I don't remember the name we were going to go with. But it's a totally different insurance because they're hazardous materials. So, you learn in this process. But that's the other lesson. It was just like, you know what? Look, if we have a good idea, we got to push the pedal to the metal, and we just got to go. We just got to go. And this is America, damn it. Okay? This is America. I don't have time to wait. This is the free market. We are capitalists. I'm not playing these stupid games anymore. Oh, the regulations, the burdens, the da-da-da. I'm so sick of it, man. I'm just going full pedal to the metal now. So anyway, that was the kind of lesson I learned today. That's my new policy with some of the ideas we have. Some of the, we were going to call them power salts. We were going to power salt. I think that's what we're going to call it, was power salt. I don't even want to think about it anymore. It was like when I saw that today, I was like, damn it. I don't even want to think about it anymore. It's like salt in the wound. Pun fully intended. So anyway, we're going to be moving forward with a lot of stuff. But that was kind of my lesson today. I was like, I've got these ideas. and I'm sitting here measuring everything, like making sure everything is perfectly aligned before I do it. And there's a time and place for that. There's a time and place for that. And then there's a time and place where you just say, I don't want to hear about the noise. I don't want to hear about the issues. I don't want to hear about the hurdles. Just plow through. Just charge pedal to the metal through. So anyway, we got that going on. You guys want to hear from AOC? Let's hear from AOC. Let's do it. Let's hear from AOC here. And I have a theory. The fact that she is not pregnant, the fact that she's not had one child with her husband, he's got to be gay, right? He's got to be gay. I mean, they've been married for like a couple years now, and nothing? No babies? Not one? Maybe she's on birth control? I just don't get it. He's got to be gay. I mean, she is a good-looking woman. We all know she's a libtard, she's a commie, she's a phony fraud, all the stuff. That's a good-looking woman. If you were married to that, you wouldn't be getting busy. You wouldn't be taking care of business. You wouldn't be getting fruitful. So he's got to be gay. So total confirmation, AOC still not pregnant. And I think she's 36. So the timer is running out here, guys. What are we going to do? Actually, you know what? On that note, it's you know what? It's probably a good thing that she's not pregnant. I'm just pointing it out that clearly her husband is gay. The fact she's not pregnant, I think, proves that her husband is gay. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Not that there's anything wrong with that. But he's got to be gay, right? So actually, on that note, look at this. We'll go back to AOC. I wonder if she's feeling, a little, like help a girl out here. Liberals are literally dying off. So you can see here. Now, I predicted this years ago, and I was talking about this when I was hosting at InfoWars. I said, what you're going to see in the very near future is basically the parents of liberals and the parents are, the children, let's say, the offspring of liberals and the offspring of conservatives are going to be like two totally different people. So they're going to be like two different types of humans. Especially when you consider the health, the diet, vaccines, everything else, drugs. So you've already got that going on. But the new studies, like we see in front of me, liberals are not even having kids anymore. They're not even having kids. And you might even think, and this is kind of another thing that might be changing too, and this is more of a cultural thing, and you can say it's good or bad, but it's happening either way. But it used to be like, conservatives and having kids and marriage was kind of like part of the game. It was like that was part of the thing. And conservatives, having kids out of wedlock it wasn't really part of conservative culture. That's kind of changed. A lot of conservatives now have kids. A lot of conservatives are having kids outside of marriage. It's a culture thing. Again, whether you good, bad, doesn't matter. It's happening. Liberals are not having kids at all. They're just not having kids at all. So, and this kind of ties into what's going on with James Fishback's campaign. So conservatives are having all the kids now, folks. Conservatives are having all of the kids now. Well, not all, but we're almost talking about a 2-to-1 ratio. Conservative parents are having kids at a 2-to-1 ratio compared to liberals. So that's significant. And I think we're seeing some of the results here with the fishback campaign, by the way. But I've got a little thing on the fishback campaign coming up too. All of these topics are going to be fair game to call in on, guys. By the way, all of these topics are going to be fair game to call in on. And I can't go late tonight. I got to be off by 6. So here's AOC, capital steps last night. This was after we found out that the father, the illegal alien father, had abandoned his child.
But you obviously believe ICE should be abolished, but there are many in your party who are not going that far. Is that a problem for you?
I think any step in the direction of reining in and cutting the funding of an agency that is attacking U.S. citizens that are
Attacking U.S. citizens. Do you even know what ICE does? Besides cool the drinks you used to make at the bar. Do you even know what ICE does? Oh, my gosh.
5-year-olds that are using them.
Oh, my gosh, guys. Oh, my gosh.
Cutting the funding of an agency that is attacking U.S. citizens that are kidnapping 5-year-olds, that are using them as bait to open doors, and that are privately circulating that they can violate everyday Americans' constitutional rights by busting into their doors. They deserve to be defunded. I'll take any step in that direction.
Are you
That's great.
But
That's just wonderful. Isn't that nice, guys? God. Seriously. All right. Humans have needs, okay? Especially you're in your 30s. This is it. This is it. You know? AOC, biological things are kicking in here. And the husband is failing her. Clearly. And she's not thinking straight. He's gay. And now look at what you got. You got AOC out here. Her brain is broken. She's confused. Her biological clock is ticking. She knows it. She subconsciously knows it. So I find it funny. Oh, we're going to abolish ICE. We're going to abolish ICE. The one federal bureaucracy that we probably need is ICE. And that's what they want to abolish. That's the one. And if you really wanted to try to understand it from the political angle, you say, why would the Democrats want to abandon or abolish ICE? Why is that? They don't want to abolish the FBI. They don't want to abolish the IRS. Why ICE? Well, don't you see? The IRS, the Democrats can use to target their political opponents, and they do, and they have. The Democrats can use the FBI to target their political opponents, and they do, and they have. The ATF goes on and on. But ICE is actually a threat to them politically. They can't aim ICE at their political opposition. ICE can only be aimed at their illegal alien voters. So you see, I think if there's federal bureaucracies, if you had to rank federal bureaucracies that we actually need, I think ICE would probably be the top one. ICE would be the one that I would say, maybe we keep that around. FBI, get rid of it. CIA, get rid of it. IRS, get rid of it. Really get rid of the entire federal government, the entire bureaucracy. But we do need ICE. And ICE is more than just what AOC used to put in the drinks she made at the bar. Poor AOC. Poor AOC. She has needs, and her husband is just unable to meet the needs. We're all human, guys. We're all human. You guys know. You guys know. So, okay. All right. All right. So here's Gavin Newsom. By the way, Gavin Newsom was supposed to have a keynote speech at Davos, and apparently they pulled the plug on it. And they said, nah, we actually don't want you. But he was on a couple of panels. Now, I got to say, you know, if I'm the Trump administration, I'm starting to look at Gavin Newsom and thinking, and maybe better to say the Republican Party, I'm starting to look at Gavin Newsom and say, okay, this is obviously who they're going to run with. There's a reason why he's at the World Economic Forum. This is who they're going with. This is their guy. So I'd be getting ahead of this right now. Is it possible that Gavin Newsom's presence or activities at the World Economic Forum in Davos, is it possible that he committed any crimes? Maybe some light sedition. I don't think that's actually too far out of the question, guys. I don't think so at all. I'd be going after him. I'd be looking at that. I'd be seriously looking at that. Is he there undermining the president? Is Gavin Newsom there committing sedition? And I wonder if Trump didn't make a phone call and have Newsom's keynote speech canceled. I wonder. It wouldn't surprise me one bit. Tell you that. So here's Newsom. So first they say it's not happening. You're a conspiracy theorist, far-right conspiracy. And then they admit, yes, this is happening.
Do you think that your party went too far or that you went too far? And I think, for instance, you know, in extending Medi-Cal to the California healthcare program to undocumented immigrants, like, do you? Well, two different I guess questions. On the big picture and the small picture, do you feel like you went too far?
Two different questions. Do I believe in universal healthcare? Yes, regardless of pre-existing conditions, ability to pay, and your status. I campaigned on that. We delivered on that, and I'm proud of that. We're one of 16 states to provide care to people regardless of their immigration status.
Do you think that?
So there it is. So Democrats give health care to illegal aliens. There it is. Thank you. Thank you for admitting it. I appreciate that. Doesn't it look like Newsom might have had a bit of a bender last night, too? Newsom looks like he was up late last night. Newsom looks like he was into some business last night. We all know what goes on at these forums, by the way. You know, it's like #1 sex trafficking hub whenever these world elites meet. Like if you're an upper echelon prostitute, or if you're an upper echelon, you know, John, it's a gay prostitute, you know, that's where they all go. They know that's where they can make the big money. Looks like Newsom might have been hitting the slopes, hitting the what do they call the round ones? The moguls. What do they call those ones? Looks like Newsom was doing some extracurricular activities. He didn't look so good. Maybe he canceled it, actually. Maybe he canceled it, and he said, guys, I can't. I had too much fun last night. I can't do it. Maybe that's what was going on. That is not a guy that looks sober. You know? No. Okay. All right, guys. So they made the arrests with the Minnesota people. Does this look like, do these look like people that are the brains of an organization here? Oh my God. Holy smokes. I mean, good God. Yeah, this is the brains of the operation right here. That's the brains. That's the one that she got it all figured out, guys. Do these look like the brains of any operation? No. No, 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 no. So wouldn't you like to know who? By the way, they've already been released. If you're concerned about that, they're already back on the streets. They might literally be back on the streets protesting. Wouldn't surprise me. It's so amazing. It's like, all right, I hope there's a strategy here. I hope we're not that stupid. And I don't know. I don't know what the maybe they have an excuse that they can track and trace their calls now. But it's like, hey, you know whoever the real brains of the operation are. You know whoever the real funders of these protests are. You know they're calling them, right? You know they're calling them. You know they're calling them and they're saying, hey, you need to hire me a lawyer. You know they're calling them and they're saying, hey, what do you want me to do now? I hope you're smart enough to be tracking and tracing this, Pam Bondi, Harmeet Dillon, Kash Patel. Or you might be just as dumb as they are. Might as well be you with the goofy-looking mugshot. Because you know that's happening. You know whoever really funds and organizes this stuff, you know they're on the phone with them. You know they're exchanging texts. You know they're organizing their next event. Please don't be that dumb. Please don't be that dumb. Probably are, unfortunately. I do have a clip from Kash Patel that's a wild one. TikTok finalizes deal to form new American entity. So basically the exchange is over. It's no longer going to be Chinese manipulation of TikTok. It's now going to be Israel manipulation of TikTok. And I will tell you that I don't know much about TikTok. I'm not on TikTok. I do have an account on there, but it's run by my social media gal. And she told me that we never had any issues. We never had any issues on TikTok as far as, censorship and that stuff is concerned. We never had any issues since we started posting show clips and other videos up there on the Owen Report account. But now that they've officially finalized the deal, they've removed a bunch of my geopolitical videos, specifically videos that talk about, would you like to take a guess? You'll never figure it out, guys. You'll never figure out what videos they're censoring on TikTok now. You'll never guess what Owen Report videos they're removing from TikTok that used to be up until this deal went down. Now they're getting rid of all of them. You'd never guess, guys. You'd never guess. So that deal is done, then censorship is here. So no longer is it the Chinese Communist Party manipulating TikTok. Now it's the Israel bloodlust party. What do we want to call them? The Netanyahu regime. They're doing it. This is one that really got a lot of attention, and thank God it did. And a lot of heavy hitters saw my post about this and liked it. I'm talking real heavy hitters, folks. But here was Thomas Massey trying to stop it. Unfortunately, the amendment I offered to defund the federally mandated automobile kill switch did not pass. 57 Republicans joined 211 Democrats to defeat it. Now, this was a Biden-era policy that Massey brought a vote to the floor to get rid of. So this was literally Biden-era car tyranny, and Massey tried to get rid of it, and 57 Republicans voted to keep the government ability to shut your car down alive. Now, we know where that came from politically. We know where that came from. It came from the Biden administration. But whose idea is this? Who's coming up with these ideas to give the government and corporations the ability to turn your car off? What kind of sick freak is that? And how can Congress support that? That is unreal. That is unreal. And this is why I could never drive an electronic car. right there. Never. Never. And I hear people talk about how much they love their Teslas. And I hear people talk about how much they love their cyber trucks. All right. Hey, cool, man. To each their own. Drive whatever you want. But, they can take that deal over at any time. At any time. And there's very little, there's actually not even many cars that they make these days where there isn't a computer system that stands in between you pushing the gas and the engine actually going. Most of the cars now, when you push the gas, that actually just sends a message to the computer, and then the computer actually drives the engine. So you're not actually, the pedal is not actually driving the engine. There's very few cars that even do that anymore. And you can probably tell if you're like really a car person, you really like driving, you've driven a bunch of different vehicles, you can tell there's a latency factor. That's because it's going through electronics. But no, now the government can just turn your car off. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? And Republicans voted for it. Very good. Not concerning at all. Trump was asked about all the money that's going into this new Gaza plan, and he didn't really seem to want to answer the question.
It's going to be close to 100%, yes. Tell us back to the Board of Peace. Some of the countries are, I think the permanent members contributed $1 billion. What is that money supposed to be for Gaza? We've already put up $1 billion. Some of the countries have already put up much more than that. And that's a lot of money, but it's nothing compared to the value of peace. Peace is so destructive for everyone, even countries that aren't involved. I mean, it's so destructive for everybody when you have wars. Can you tell us who you're...
So he doesn't want to answer the question about who's controlling the money and where's it going. And the answer is obviously him. But this is where Trump is just at his worst, honestly. This is where Trump is just at his worst, and he just has to lie. And that's the truth. He has to lie. To sit there with the Board of Peace, with Netanyahu on it, and to sit there and say, oh, war is so costly, we need peace. Dude, the number one warmonger on the planet is Bibi Netanyahu, and you put him on the Board of Peace. And we all just sat here and watched them demolish an entire civilization so that you could bring in your people and build on top of it. It's disgusting. It's disgusting, Donald. You look like a damn pig. You now have warmongering pig all over you because of this. So this is when Trump is at his worst, unfortunately. But what do you expect when you get in bed with the Israelis? What do you expect when you get in bed with the Netanyahu regime? You're going to come out covered in the blood of innocent people, and everybody sees it. You can't hide it. So that's what you get. And hey, look, you can still support Trump. You can say great administration, all of this other stuff. That's fine. Okay. Stop pretending like this man isn't outright embarrassing himself. Stop pretending like Donald Trump is not outright embarrassing himself with this involvement with Netanyahu and the Israel plan to take over Gaza with all of his billionaire friends. Stop it. It's embarrassing. It's piggish. It's disgusting. And he knows it. He's up there. He knows it. Stop it. Just admit it. It's disgusting what they did. Don't be a dishonest person. All you people on the right, even if you support it, even if you love Israel and you think Israel can do no wrong, and even if you're one of those Randy Fine type people that there's no innocent dead Palestinian, can we just be honest about what happened? Can you at least be honest about what happened? And the answer is no, you can't. Because if you are honest about what happened, then you know you're the bad guy. And you can never be the bad guy. So let's just be honest. They're the bad guys. But what about Hamas? What about October 7th? Yeah, they're the bad guys too. They're all bad guys. Have you figured it out yet? This is why we want nothing to do with it anymore. This is why we want to decouple and divorce from the Middle East, because they're all bad guys. They've been killing each other for 3,000 frickin' years. It's disgusting. It's embarrassing. And all you people on the right that support it and cover up for it and act like it's all good and everything. Yeah, okay. Okay. Go buy some property on Gaza Beach. Go let your kids play in the sand. And when they dig up a bunch of dead bodies and when they bring a human skull back to your umbrella, you can explain what happened. Say, oh, little Johnny, yeah, that's a human skull of all the Palestinians we killed so that we could have this nice resort. Now go take that back to the ocean, little Johnny. Oh, little Johnny found another dead carcass under the sand. That's all right. That's just a Palestinian, little Johnny. It's okay. We had to kill them all so that we could have this nice resort. It's very good. Shabbat shalom. Let me try to find there's some political cartoons out there about this. Yeah, here we go. So here was the cartoon that Peter DeWitt wrote. It's the joke I just made. Here's little Johnny at the beach. He's playing in the sand. He's making some sand castles. And, oh, look, some dead Palestinian bones here. Oh, look, Mommy. Like, oh, put the dead Palestinian back, little Johnny. Put the dead Palestinian back, little Johnny. But mommy, there's a pile of dead Palestinians over here. Just go throw it in the ocean, little Johnny. It's okay. We ignore that. We pretend like that didn't happen. Oh, okay. Okay, Mommy. Oh, I'm sorry. I just saw a bunch of dead bodies at the beach. There's a mass Palestinian grave at a popular Israel beach. Veterans confess that this is going to actually happen. Right. They're not even going to take the time to. They can't. There's 100,000 dead bodies. They're under the rubble right now. I'm telling you, folks. There's going to be something that's going to actually happen, and I don't know if it's actually going to happen like that, like a kid at the beach or whatever. No, there's going to be something is going to happen when they do this massive development, or when they go in there and clear out all the rubble. You're going to see a bunch of dead bodies. Like, it's impossible that it's not going to happen. So they'll bring in the Israeli bulldozers and, they'll shove a bunch of rubble and then dead body will flop around. Dead kid will roll down to the ground. They'll be digging into the beach to build like a pier or something, put in some support columns for a pier. Or for like a shack or a restaurant, they'll be digging into the beach, getting ready, and then it'll be like, a bunch of dead kids. And, it's like, oh, gee. And then they're going to pull in, and they'll do some deal. They'll pull in a bunch of equipment to try to block cameras. Say, oh, what's going on over here? Oh, nothing, just building a foundation. And then here comes a truck, and they just load it up with, a bunch of dead bodies. Oh, nothing to see here. It's all cursed. It's all cursed. It's like it's such valuable land. It's such valuable land. If you found out, honestly, I'm just curious. I mean, this does happen. If you found out you're about to buy this house and you found out that somebody lived there and died, it's like, well, okay, somebody died there, maybe of old age, heart attack, whatever it happens. But let's say you find out somebody was murdered there. Let's say you find out that there was some mass murderer who had a bunch of dead bodies in that house. Would you still buy that house? You know what happens to those houses? They get sold. They either get demolished because nobody wants a house with dead bodies, or they get sold for such a low price that it's like, there were a bunch of dead bodies in this house, so we're basically selling it to you for nothing. It's like, all right, I'll take the dead body house. That's basically what they're going to do with this new Gaza. It's like, hey, do you want this beachfront property? How many dead bodies are in the sand? 40? But, in 100 years, they'll dissolve. Well, I don't know. I'm going to have to reconsider. Explore New Gaza. Enjoy the crunching of human skulls and remains under your faggio as you're touring the pier. Ignore the stench of 100,000 dead. Isn't this great, honey? Wow. So it's magical. Oh, whoa, what was that? Oh, just a dead Palestinian. Oh, they forgot one. Call Randy Fine. He's hungry. Yeah, they're going to call. Randy, we don't know what to do with all these human remains. Are you hungry, Randy? Randy Fine is like Rob Reiner in South Park. You ever seen that? You ever seen Rob Reiner in South Park from the episode Butt Out? You ever seen that one? I feel like that is Randy Fine.
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
All right, folks, come on now. Are you doing it? Are you filtering your water? What are you waiting for? Listen to me. Listen to me right now. If you are not filtering your water, you're crazy. But here's good news. There's actually good news for you listening to this right now. If you don't have a water filter at home, if you're not filtering your drinking water, this is actually good news for you because now you have the opportunity to buy the best water filter on the market, and that is the CovePure water filtration system. Let me tell you why this is the best. Let's talk about the filtration. Now, anybody that's researched the different types of water filters and filtered water and what is the best or not, everybody kind of has their opinions. But it's pretty well known that reverse osmosis is the number one water filtration process. Now, the one downside is that when you do it, the water comes out so pure, you remove the good minerals and the pH, the alkaline. So it's just totally pure water. So you lose some of the good stuff, the pH balance, the alkaline. Well, the CovePure, it is reverse osmosis. But guess what? Before it comes back out and into your glass or into your mug or whatever it is you're going to drink out of or into the removable pitcher, it realkalizes the water. So it doesn't get any better than that. This thing's straight out of the future. Bring the future into your kitchen with the CovePure water filtration system. So, okay, the water filtration process, best in the game, best out there. But what else does it have to offer? How is this thing so scientifically advanced, Schroyer? Well, it can give you exactly how much water you want. Do you want 6 ounces? Do you want 8 ounces? Do you want 16 ounces? Go ahead. Select it right there on their digital interface. It'll give you the exact amount of ounces you want. All right. Okay. It sounds kind of fancy, but that can't be it. Good news. It's not. You can also decide the temperature you want your water. That's right. The temperature. I don't know. I get curious sometimes. I'm sitting down there with my water filtration system. I get curious sometimes because I'll push one button, and I actually did this because I'm curious. I'm staring at this thing. I'm like, like this thing came from the future. So I'm staring at this thing, this modern marvel of water filtration. I'm staring at this thing. I'm like, I'm a little suspicious of you, actually. So I get my instant coffee from blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. I put it in my mug. I put it at the bottom of the filtration system here where it puts the water out. And I say, okay. And I click hot water. So it gives me nice scalding hot water. Get my coffee. It's ready to go. Comes out piping hot. All right. My coffee's ready. And I'm sitting here and I'm staring at it. I'm almost a little suspicious. I'm like, all right, CovePure water filtration system. All right. You just gave me hot water for my coffee. But wait a second. Oh, hold on a second. And then I'll put my glass down and I'll be like, I want cold water now. Like, let's see you do that now, Mr. Fancy Pants. So I push the cold water, ice cold water. So I push the ice cold water button. Bing. It gives me ice cold water. 2 seconds later. I don't know how the thing does it. I almost want to crack it open and look inside. And I feel like there's something magical going on in there. But I use it every day, so I don't want to break it. But that's how incredible this water filtration system is, folks. CovePure.com/Owen. Bring your water filtration process to the future with me and my friends at CovePure.com/Owen. The best water filter on the market, bar none. I'm actually going to go get some water right now for my CovePure system. Right now. I'm going to do it right now.
It's your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast, The Owen Report with Owen Schroyer.
All right. You know, I still got a bunch of stuff to cover here. I got stacks. I got more stacks. I got so many damn stacks of news. Maybe it's just time to open the phone lines. Maybe I should just stop and open the phone lines here. Because if I don't do it now, I'm just not going to do it. And we didn't take any calls this week. We've been really leaning into, and I actually do prefer the super chats. I know we got some super chats. We'll do the super chats again. We always will. We'll always do the super chats at the end of the show. I can't go overtime today. I got to be off by 6. And I said we're going to do calls, so I do want to do the calls. So maybe it's just time to open it. But let's do this real quick. Let me just do this. Dianne Feinstein 1993. All right. 1993. Oh, the fraud, as if it's a new thing. Everybody's known about this fraud. Everybody's known. What is going on here? Turn my music off. Everybody's known about the fraud, including one Feinstein from 1993.
Should you have a system where people can come to this country, even if they're well-to-do, get on Medicaid and give birth to a baby and then go back? The answer is no. And we know that Medicaid laws are being used and abused to do just this in the state of California. I'd like to see that stopped.
Amazing. Amazing. Yes. Actually, you go back to Democrats from the 90s, they were all about secure borders and all about deportations. Feinstein, Clinton, the rest of them. Let's just, for good measure here. What do they call him? Timu Obama?
You sure?
Hakeem Jeffries. Let's check in on old Hakeem Jeffries. Allison Steinberg from Real Lindell TV. Honestly, Allison and Kara Castronova are probably they're doing such great work at the Hill. So great that Donald Trump gave Mike Lindell TV the access with Allison and Kara. And I'm sure it doesn't hurt their cause that they're pretty easy to look at either. We know Trump's into that. So, but here, let's check in on Timu Obama.
Leader Jeffries, you recently stated that requiring proof of citizenship to vote in elections is voter suppression. Can you explain how requiring proof of ID is voter suppression?
That's not a statement that I ever made.
You sure about that?
Then you should have brought the SAVE Act, which is a voter suppression bill that we strongly oppose, to the floor.
Leader Jeffries, you recently...
Oh, man. Okay. I know. We're all stunned. Another lying Democrat. I know, guys. We're just shocked. We can't believe it. It's another lying Democrat. All right, let's do this. I promise phone calls. We haven't taken them all week. Now, here's what we're going to do. Because the lines are already lit up. Here's what happens. This is why I want to do it like this. This is why we're going to do it like this today. I don't want people, because I do think, I think what we're probably going to end up doing is probably only doing calls on Friday. We'll see how this goes. We're going to see how this goes today. But I think what we may end up doing is only doing calls on Friday, because it's so hard to get through, and the same people call over and over. And so then new people try to call. They can never get through. They never call back. And so the super chats are easier because everybody gets the equal opportunity with super chats. Everybody gets the exact same opportunity to get their chat read on air. Everybody that sends a super chat, everybody gets their chat read on air. So that's why I prefer that method. But it's Friday. I'm kind of more of a traditional talk radio type of guy, and phone calls are part of it. So we're going to do it. So here's how it's probably going to go. The regulars are probably going to call in and get in first, like they always do. And then once they all get through, that'll open up the opportunity for other people to get through on the phone line. That's my hope. Okay, that's my hope. So we're gonna give it a test run here. We're gonna test run it here. But that's why it's just the same people always get through, and then new callers just give up because they can never get through. They can never get access, and the super chat gives everybody equal access. And it's easier for me to manage too. It's right there in front of me. And we appreciate it. We appreciate it when you send in a super chat, because it helps fund the show, obviously. So we appreciate that winning mechanism, as long as we have it, as long as we get access to it. So let's see how it goes today, guys. I told you I've got plenty of news here. Okay. I've got plenty of news, guys. It's just, I think we're all a little burnout. Am I the only one? I'm just really burnt out from the politics this week. I have to be honest with you. And if my heart's not in it like that, it's not as good as when I just untether and just loosen up on a Friday. So I think that's kind of where a lot of us are at. And it's all mostly, it's mostly the same stuff. We all know it. Israel's out of control. It's very unpopular. Conservative media is it's all conservative ink. It's all Trump loyalists, talking points, cheerleaders. Looks like Trump sold us out. I mean, it's like every fucking day. So, what do you guys do, by the way? What do you guys do whenever you get into that situation? I'll tell you what I do, but I wonder what you guys do. What do you guys do when you kind of have that redundancy factor, like that hamster wheel factor in your life? What do you guys like to do? And I'm somebody that really, I like a good schedule. I like having a good schedule, meaning, I pretty much know what I'm doing the next day. Usually my whole week is scheduled out, but I pretty much know things change, but I pretty much know here's what's on my schedule the next day. So it's like, I make sure that my day is filled. It's a productive day. We're getting work in, we're getting exercise in, whatever. So I'm somebody that really likes a schedule. But when you live kind of that lifestyle, then you do have the redundancy factor. My trick, this is what I like to do when I kind of get that burnout. I listen to new music. That's what I do. I listen to new music. And I think there's two different ways I like to go. I either go and I'll get the YouTube algorithm for music is probably the best out there. It's better than any of the music apps. Now, people that listen to the show, I'm a big fan of SiriusXM radio. So I'll either go find a new station on SiriusXM radio. I'll just go tune into a station I've never tuned into before on SiriusXM radio, or I'll go to YouTube and I'll find a band that I already know I like that's a foreign band. So like a German band, Swedish band, Russian band, and a Japanese band. And you go to YouTube and you just click one of their videos, and then it'll send you down a bunch of different Japanese bands or German bands or Russian bands. And so you listen to foreign music, and now you feel like you're in a different world. So that really breaks it down. So that's how I do it, guys. That's how I kind of like to break that redundancy factor. But I'm a big fan of music. Not everybody likes music. I think somebody's like, I think video games. Some people like doing video games. I kind of can't really do that as much anymore. It's when I try, it just doesn't do it for me. But so that's why I go with music. And you can do anything when you're listening to music, really, So here I am rambling on. All right, let's do the phone lines. Let's do it. Let's do the phone lines. Oh, you sick bastard in the chat. You sick freak. You pervert. Ugh. Oh my gosh. You disgust me. You disgust me. All right, phone lines are open. 747-200-5560. Let's get up close and personal. With you. Phone lines are open. 747-200-5560. Let's see who made it in first. First caller of the day. What's your name? Where are you from?
Hey, Owen, it's Willie, San Diego. The question we have today, my wife and I, will Trump Gaza Plaza get the dead body discount?
No, I don't think so. I think they're demanding top dollar. You heard Trump a moment ago. He said this is the most valuable property on earth.
Well, where else do we have a better place to spend our money than over there, right?
So here's the deal we're looking at. It's been brought to our attention that some of this land might have some dead bodies. Let's just be honest. There's at least 100,000 of them. They're under the rubble. They're in the sand. There's only so much we can do. There's really only so much we can do. So what we're coming up with is the greatest dead body removal service you've ever heard of. Nothing ever like it. It's called Trump Dead Body Removal. And so what we're going to do for you when you purchase your new Gaza property, when you go and purchase your new Gaza property, or maybe you're just playing at the beach with your kids, it's very likely this will happen. So tell little Johnny, tell little Susie that if you're going to find a dead body, make sure mom and dad know. Because what we're going to do here, we're offering the most big, beautiful, dead body removal service you've ever heard of. And so here's what it is. When you call us, when you call the Trump Dead Body Removal Service, we will give you a discount for every dead Palestinian that you're able to turn in. We will give you a credit is what we'll do. We'll be calling it the credit, the Trump credit. It's the best credit. There's never been credit like it. And we'll give you that credit, and it'll be good depending, it's like a point-based system, right? It's a point-based system. Everything is. It's the best system. And depending on that dead body, you could get anywhere from $5,000 to $50,000 in Trump cash, right? Trump cash. You're hearing of it now. The best cash, the cleanest cash. And so we're going to clean it up. But we got to build, okay? We can't wait. We got to build, because the problem is the longer we wait to build, you never know, another bomb could drop. So we don't have time. We got to build first. We got to build first. So we're going to build, but because of this, there's going to be some skulls. Okay, there's going to be some skulls. There's going to be some skeletons. We're hoping that, what we're hoping is that the rodents and the rats and the termites, maybe they can clean it up a little bit. So by the time you find the dead body, it's just skull, right? It's just bone. We're hoping that when you find the dead body, there's no more skin or brain or blood left over. It's just a carcass, just the bone. But you never know. So all you got to do, though, when you find that dead body, when you find that dead Palestinian, okay, you just give the Trump Dead Body Removal Service. It's going to be a beautiful service. It's a service that the Trump brand has never been into until today. But now it has to be done. Somebody's got to do it. Somebody's got to go in and remove all those dead Palestinians that Israel wiped off the face of the earth. So we're going to build. We're going to build beautiful. We're going to build back very beautiful. It's going to be the best build, but there's going to be a lot of dead bodies. It's true. It's very true. So all you got to do, we'll give you credit. Every dead body you find, you give the Trump Dead Body Removal a call, okay? And you don't know who might pick up. It could be Kushner. It could be Kushner. It could be Witkoff. It could be the beautiful Melania, okay? It could be Netanyahu. It could be Ben-Gvir. He might be out there looking for the dead bodies right now. He seems to be into that stuff. I really don't want to say anything more than that, but he seems to be really into it. There's a certain name for that type of person, but he's into it. So we have a solution. We do have a solution. It's called the beautiful, big, clean, best you've ever heard of Trump Dead Body Removal Service. So we're going to make sure all those dead bodies that are rotting in the rubble, rotting in the beach, they're rotting. We're going to make sure that the Trump Dead Body Removal Service comes and clean it up so that your new Gaza experience is the greatest experience you've ever had. Okay? Does that work for you then?
Oh, my God. It works for me and Pee Wee Herman.
Very good.
You know what, Owen? Owen, the sad part about all this is that the Board of Peace is nothing more than a Zionist version of the New World Order and an eventual replacement of the UN. The map that we saw of this new Gaza is exactly what we think of when we see the prototype blueprint for 15-minute cities. I don't know. It is funny, and I love your imitation. But man, this is so sad. It's so dystopian. And we saw Jared Kushner and Steve Witkoff on 60 Minutes, and they gave it all away. And talking about that this has been in for over 2 years, and Jared's the money man.
Well, and they said during the campaign, it was, oh, no, Kushner is no longer going to be a part of the administration. Kushner isn't going to be a part of it anymore. So that was just an outright lie.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been a long time prophecy that the UN would be ignored and dissolved and relocated in Jerusalem. And there would be one police force, one military, and one world government. No more wars because there's no more opposition. It's taken from the Talmud and the Old Testament. It's been long in the works.
Yeah. Well, it's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out, but they announced it. You know, they're public, so I guess once again the conspiracy theorists were right. We just keep being right. Like the Department of War came out today and is bragging about their direct energy weapons. So it's like, oh, that used to be conspiracy theory. Oh, nope. They confirm it today. So, okay. Very nice. Good to know. Of course, we already knew it, but conspiracy theory no more. It's confirmed. All right, next caller. What's your name? Where are you from?
Caleb. I am from Louisiana.
All right, Caleb, go ahead.
Well, I just come from I'm a long lineage of Republicans, great-grandparents, grandparents, mother. I get confused now. I mean, after 2019 during COVID, you know, when they used chemical weapons against our own country, I had to just kind of turn off the switch and separate myself from any political organization. I just want to know, how the hell did we get into a position where we've had 2 pedophile presidents in a row, and we still got people that are supporting this asshole?
You know, I saw somebody, and I would probably disagree with your assessment of Trump. I get what you're saying with the Epstein list and everything else and him being friends. But let's not forget that, Joe Biden was the one that's on camera groping kids. I mean.
Absolutely agreed. I've seen the videos.
Yeah.
I've seen it at the Senate when they swore in, the senators and the parents were sitting there letting him caress their kids' hairs and pet their backs and whisper in their ears.
Yeah, I forget his first attorney general from Alabama, Sessions. When Biden went over to Sessions' granddaughter, Sessions slapped him and said, "Get the hell out of here, pervert."
Yeah, I mean there might have been 1 or 2, but for every one that might have turned him down, the other 10, parents were just sitting there and allowing it to happen. And it's like, I just wonder sometimes who's really calling the shots. It's the left and right are the same hand of the evil body that is controlling this country. And I wonder, I've got 7 minutes from my house, I can drive in any direction and end up at a Masonic lodge or a Order of the Eastern Star lodge, or a lodge, Shriner Lodge, or a Scottish Rite. And who's really pulling the strings of this country? I mean, it's been rotted out from the inside. And I come from a lineage where my great grandfather was 33rd degree Freemason. And I've been multiple times, people have come up and tried to get me to join this. I've been pushed by my family, but I mean, in reality, I think we all know who's really calling the shots. It's foreign interests and lobbyists. And as long as we allow people like Miriam Adelson to donate $250 million and own our president, we're never really going to have a control, and our vote doesn't count. That's kind of where I'm at. I don't think I could ever associate with another political party in my life, at least not Republican or Democrat.
Yeah, well, you can sit out the midterms. I certainly suppose a lot of people are going to be doing just that. I thank you for the call. You can sit out the midterms, but I do wonder in 2028, because Musk is going to be funding Republicans in the midterms. He's already said that, and that's fine. I think if you're looking at things from a strategic standpoint, you've got to still, if you're Musk or whatever, you don't want the Democrats in power, then yeah, okay, you're going to support the Republicans, and maybe it's like 10% better, 15%, I don't know. But no, it's going to have to be, it's going to be Republicans and Democrats in the midterms. That's just what it's going to be. And then the Democrats will probably win and impeach Trump and maybe nuke the filibuster, or do whatever else they can. 2028 is going to be the year that's going to be interesting. That's going to be the year where if Musk does want to do a third-party thing and fund a third-party candidate and get behind a third-party candidate, then I actually could see that working. I could see that being the first year where it actually works. Because, and I'm going to actually go to this clip from a Fishback rally right now since you brought it up, and then we'll go back to the calls after that. So if you're on the line, we'll go to you after this. I'm going to play this Fishback clip from his campaign, because I think here's the takeaway. Here's the takeaway from the Fishback campaign that's happening. Let me find this clip here, and we'll get ready to play it. The takeaway is that, and I mean, you see some people talking about this, but I think that there's kind of, I don't really see anybody covering it the way that, I can say the way that I'm covering it, but the way that it's really breaking down. I don't really see people covering it in the way that is actually explaining the breakdown here. And so I want to go to this clip. So let me play these clips and then kind of get back to what the caller said and do the breakdown. So this is from the Fishback event in Florida yesterday. Pretty good turnout. It looks like he's in somebody's backyard here.
I want to disincentivize OnlyFans from exploiting our young women.
I mean, these look like these are all kids in their 20s for the most part. It's mostly young men. There's some young women in there too. But it's mostly young men. And he says, here's another clip here. I'm not gonna play the audio for the sake of time, and then I want to get back to the call here. Here's another clip. A guy gives him $1.
I will take $1.
And he says, I would rather have this dollar right here from the young man that gave it to him. I'd rather have this dollar right here than $1 million from Adelson or AIPAC. And so he says this at an event. So
$1.
It's breaking down like this. Fishback is going to win the vote. He's going to win that vote. I think that this is now pretty apparent that Fishback is going to win the 30 and under vote. Now, is that enough to win the governor's election? It'll depend how the older generations. The older generations, probably 50, 60 and above, are going to just vote the way the Republicans tell them to vote, the way Trump tells them to vote, and that's going to be for Donald. The 40-year-olds, depending on how it all shakes out, could end up determining that race. I think it's going to be a lot closer than they anticipate. I don't think Donald's is the shoe-in that they think he is right now. And we're still early in the game. I think the primary is in August. So a lot of time. And Fishback, his stock is only going up. And there's going to be more stuff that drops on Donald's that might hurt his stock. But here's what it represents to me. Whether Fishback can pull this off or not, it just shows you that the younger generations are only going one direction. They're only going one direction. If you're a party loyalist, they're not voting for you. If you're a foreign loyalist or have any ties to money that comes from Israel or Adelson, people 30 and under are not voting for you. They will not vote for you, period. Now, that doesn't mean they will go and vote for a Democrat necessarily. They might just not vote. But they're not going to vote for you. They won't. And that's why 2028 is going to be so interesting. I think this is the last election cycle where being connected to Israel, you might still be able to win an election. I think this is the last one, guys, which is actually kind of dangerous because, you know, these psychos, who knows what they're going to do to us to try to save that. I would anticipate they're not going to let it go easy, which is really sad. It's like, can we just determine our own fate? Can you just let the younger generations of Americans determine our own fate? Can you just leave us alone to determine our own fate? And they just can't. They just can't. They're greedy bastards. They're psychotic freaks. But it's pretty clear. It's only going one direction. This is the Israel lobby's last gasp. This is the boomers' last gasp, is the 2026 midterms. It's over after that. It's done. Because then it'll be 40 and under, and maybe even 50 and under, that is not going to vote for a party loyalist and not going to vote for an Israel loyalist. Never going to happen again after these midterms. Never. And I think Fishback's campaign is really exposing that big time. And people are starting to look at the Ohio race, and it has some similarities, but it's not like what's going on in Florida. It's not. It's kind of, that's more of like a Republican establishment. That's more of like a American heritage identity type of issue than it is in Florida, where it's Republican Party loyalist, Israel loyalist, versus younger generations that don't like that stuff. So I think it's pretty clear. I think it's pretty clear that that's going to be the biggest measuring stick. The Florida governor's race is going to be the biggest measuring stick as far as where the right wing is really at right now. And we'll see what the final result is. If Fishback wins, the Israel lobby is done. Done. Over. And really, it shows that I guess now you can run and win without even really the Republican Party backing you, even in a governor's race. So Fishback is essentially running against the Republican lobby and the Israel lobby, which young Americans, young conservatives, we don't like either of those things. We're sick of both of those things. And Fishback is really doing it. I mean, he's really doing it. So when I saw that event, it was a pretty good event. A lot of people there. It shows me that, yeah, this is really coming of age. This is really happening. And I've been saying it for years that you're 2-3 election cycles away from that happening. But now it's down to like 1 or 2. So like it used to be, I was thinking maybe 3 or 4. It's down to 1 or 2 now. So we're going to continue to monitor that and maybe even play a little role. Back to the phone lines we go. Next caller, what's your name? Where you from?
Oh, and Don from Orange County. How are you?
Hey, what's up, Don?
Not a whole lot, man. But hey, you know what? I'm going to talk about it. Doesn't seem to be anybody talking about it these days. Everyone's so distracted with all this bullshit going on. Never in my life has it ever been so clear that it truly is us and them, us against them and them against it. They hate us. And when I say they, the government, the Zionists, and all of them, everyone needs to get with their Second Amendment and hold on to that, because you're going to need it at some point. Because, you know, you got Trump going around calling everybody a criminal, this and that. He's talking shit to Tim Walz, and then, you know, he's got every day, man. Oh, Ilhan Omar, she shouldn't be here. Or she's just, you know, you got these guys doing that, and then you got these protesters obstructing over there, and then you got the ICE guys saying, "Oh, we're trying to arrest abusive and predatory illegals, and you're holding it up. I saw the video. You're obstructing it, and we're trying to arrest these guys, these child predators." And I'm thinking, you know what? Then you got Pam Bondi. She's doing her job because it's low-hanging fruit. She can make a fucking arrest. Dude, she can fucking arrest you. She can make it arrest me, but they can't arrest the pedophiles and the real criminals up there. Man, I'm so sick of this bullshit, dude. I'm sick of seeing everyone talking about the election. You just said it right now. Dude, we're fucked. There ain't going to be it doesn't matter who wins. They're all working for the same fucking people. It's the same shit. We are screwed, man. Agenda 2030 is right on time, right on track. And let's not forget about that. Let's not forget who we're dealing with here. These people have been gaslighting us for decades. They've been shitting on us for decades, ripping us off, taxing us to death. You know, we can't even make a move, and nobody can make a move anywhere in California or anywhere in the country for that matter. It's getting that bad. I'm just fucking tired of it, dude. I see you smiling on the TV, man, but you're a little bit ahead of me or behind. I don't know, but dude, I mean, yeah, let's talk about that, man. You talk about the election. You're saying, you know, in 2028, if this doesn't happen, we're screwed, dude. We're screwed no matter what, dude. We got the mandate. We got everything we wanted out of Trump. Everything. It was supposed to be America first, supposed to be spoon fed to us, and now everyone's talking about 2028 like it's gonna like we're gonna fix shit. It's gonna get better. Educate me, dude. Tell me what the hell it is you think is gonna happen in 2028. What kind of hope we have for our country, man? I don't know if you're a parent or not, but I'm a parent. I have kids. My kids, I just tell my kids, go have fun, man. Go have fun, live your life, because we're all fucked. This country ain't going to get better. You got Trump Trump ran on no regime changes, no fucking nation building, no nothing. And here he is taking Venezuela, taking Greenland. And you know what?
Well, let me just say this. Let me just say this. Because there's no answer to what you're saying. I can't argue against what you're saying. I guess my response would be, I'm not giving up on humanity. I'm not giving up on America. And God is in control more than anything. And, strangely enough, and I actually cut this from my final stack here, but Alex Karp, he spoke at Davos, and he kind of said something similar, actually. He kind of said something similar. It was in a bit of a different vein, but he said something similar, which was like, hey, look, yeah, everything's kind of fucked, so you better go out there and be the best you can be. And you better think about that in the future. So I'm just saying I haven't lost my faith in people. I haven't lost my faith in humanity. I haven't given up on America. I still believe it's worth fighting for. And yeah, we cover politics and we look for political solutions. And I guess I would say just because, let's say Trump does end up being a total sellout. And let's say what the trend that we're on and the path that we're on, it stays there, the same trajectory. And Trump sends us into the AI, New World Order, surveillance grid, Orwellian, everything. Let's say that that's actually the conclusion of this administration. And it stays on this trajectory. Don't let another lying politician crush your spirit. Don't let another lying scumbag, politician, billionaire, deceiver, blackmailed, pervert, whatever it is. This could be Trump, this could be Biden, this could be anybody. Don't let these people destroy your human will. Do not let them do that, because when you let them do that, then you lose. Don't let them do that. Now, again, I'm not pushing back on what you're saying. I understand where you're coming from. I understand what you're saying. And a lot of people feel the same way. But I'm not giving up on humanity. I'm not giving up on America, and I know God is in control no matter what anyway. That's a fact. So if Trump ends up being the ultimate betrayer, don't let that destroy your spirit. Don't let that destroy your will. Don't give up. And you can talk about, well, these are solutions, or these aren't solutions, or this is the wrong way, or this is the right way. We can have these debates. We can talk politics, whatever. Don't let them do that. That's part of the purpose here. That's part of the demoralization campaign. Don't let them win. Don't let them win. And believe me, I understand where you're coming from. In fact, I understand it to such an extent where I'm looking at this weekend. And I've got some plans this weekend with some friends and family. And I'm looking at this weekend and some of the things that I'm going to do. And I'm like, no wonder. In fact, I got a clip. And maybe I'll go to this clip right now because it kind of explains it. And it sounds stupid. And it is kind of stupid, if we're being honest. It is kind of stupid. So let me play this clip for context. I'm going to play this clip for context. And let me respond to what you said, Don. Because again, I'm not pushing back. I'm not disagreeing. I get where you're coming from, but that, the defeat is being defeated. You don't lose the fight until you stop fighting. You're never defeated until you admit defeat. We are not defeated. We are not done fighting. We are just beginning to fight. Human will, the American spirit, we're rising. Respond to us. I do believe that. Yes, our politicians are all scumbags. Our politicians all sold us out. Our government is evil. I can't deny these things. It's demoralizing. I get it. Don't let it defeat you. Don't let Donald Trump, caked in orange makeup, selling you out to foreign and special interests, don't let that defeat you. Let that motivate you. Let that inspire you. Let that force you to awaken other hearts and minds, because that's what's going to happen. This is the battle for humanity. This is the battle for the future. We don't give up. We're Americans, Don. We never give up. America is worth fighting for. And God is on our side. But let me, because I understand where you're coming from. And I actually thought about this. I did. I thought about this a lot this very week because I know a lot of people feel that way. I know a lot of people feel that way, just like what you expressed, Don. So I'm not telling you I have the solutions. I'm just telling you not to sit down. I'm just telling you not to give up. But I saw this clip from Davos. This is the president of FIFA. And this is so stupid. It is really so stupid, but yet it's true. Listen to this.
Let me come back to this.
Oh, hold on a second.
Let me come back to this. Because this is also magic. You would think this is a ball, right? Well, that's not a ball. This is not a ball. This is actually, let me show you. Well, you see, this is a magic instrument that transforms people in happy people. Again, look how he's smiling, you see? Immediately. He was serious, he gets the ball. Give the ball around a little bit to the crowd, and you will see it transforms people in happy people. This is what this strange instrument does. And the children's face become happy, and adults become children, and they start playing, passing the ball. Look, the smiles all over the room. This is fantastic. This is beautiful. And this is something that we are forgetting, dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, in these particular times. We forget to be happy, to be joyful. Everyone has its own problems, issues in life. And with football, we want to give to communities all over the world. FIFA has 211 countries which are members of FIFA. We want to give them a moment of joy and happiness. When a child kicks a ball, when an adult kicks a ball, they don't think about their issues and their problems in life. And we have always to remember that.
So I thought about this a lot this week because a lot of people are feeling the same way as the last caller. And I'm asking myself, because I'm not telling you to go out here and be one of these, sports addicts, let's say, or sports fanatics where you live and die by the team or you paint your face, all that stuff, right? But I have to sit here and I have to ask. I'm like, last night, perfect example. I'm at the gym last night. I'm playing basketball with some friends, and we talk politics. We talk about the corruption and everything else. And then we go out, we play basketball, and we have a great time. And we smile, we laugh, we get after one another. And it's healthy. It's a good thing. I'm going to be going to a sporting event this weekend with some friends. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. Should I feel guilty? It's like, should I feel guilty that I have to go to a sporting event that is mostly meaningless? It's meaningless. It's a child's game. Should I feel guilty because I enjoy this? Should I feel guilty because I'm going to a sporting event with friends and family this weekend and we're going to have fun? No, I don't think so. No, I think it's, it's like the guy there. There's something there. It's like, yeah, it's okay. Life has its issues. Governments, politicians, everything, corrupt, everything else. It's like, it's not a bad thing to find happiness in life. It's not a bad thing to find joy in life. It's a good thing. It's a necessity. You don't want to live in the dark. You don't want to be depressed. You don't want to be demoralized. It doesn't mean you make that your entire life story. It just means, hey, there's room for this. This is good. This is healthy. This is the balance. This is the yin and the yang. But that's what it is. Why do I enjoy going to concerts? Why do I enjoy going to ball games? Why do I enjoy going out with friends for dinner? Because for that one moment, we can forget about everything and we're all on the same page and we're just enjoying life and enjoying each other's company. And you know what? That is a good thing. That is a necessity. Your human spirit and soul needs it. It's okay. It's okay. I understand why we feel guilty. I understand we see all the corruption. We see all the evil. And we say, how can you do that? How can you care? How can you enjoy this? Because we're humans and we need to. We need it. And if even for one moment, you can be in one place with thousands of other people that are in the same direction, in the same mindset, and happy, then that's a good thing. And you'll say, well, it's the bread and circus. Okay, maybe. And yet it remains true. So, hey, you can have a weekend and not have any enjoyment. You can have a weekend and not find any fun. You can have a weekend and be depressed. You can have a weekend and say, I'm not going to go to that concert. I'm not going to go to that ball game, whatever, because everything is bad in the world and all of our politicians are corrupt and our government is evil. You can do that. But then in a certain way, you've already lost. Because at the end of the day, Satan, at the end of the day, these evil governments, these liars, they want you unhappy. They want you demoralized. They want you hopeless. So we have to refuse to be. So, yeah, okay. You take their bread and circus, and then you turn right back around and we say, hey, we haven't forgotten about you, bastards. Hey, we haven't forgotten about you, by the way. We're not dead. We haven't given up. We enjoy life, and we enjoy life, and we enjoy kicking your ass and calling you out, and we will win. So that's how I look at it. And if nothing else, you shouldn't feel bad enjoying your life. Because as far as we know, you only get one. You only get one. And it would be a shame. It would be a shame not to enjoy it. It would be a shame not to find time for friends and family and fun. It would be a shame. And it could be gone at any moment. All of this could be gone at any moment. So you prepare for that too. But you don't give up. You don't hide. You don't go into a dark place. You don't get demoralized. Because in a way, once you've done that, you've already lost. So it's like, yeah, everything Don said is true, but yet if we accept that as our reality and give up, then we've already lost. And we aren't going to lose. We're not going to accept defeat. That's not how this is going to go for us. That's not the vibe we're going for. That's not the future we want. And if it's good advice for your kids, it's good advice for you too, Don. Because, you were a kid at once. And maybe in God's eyes, you still are. So, a bit of a long-winded response there with the FIFA video. All right, back to the phone lines. All right, caller, you've been holding for a minute. We've got you live now. What's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Oni. I'm from Ohio.
All right, Oni, go ahead.
Yeah, I was wondering about solutions. Like, what are we going to do here real quick, to make some changes?
Well, what do you mean?
Well, we know Trump's not going to be president in 28.
Okay,
so
all right, let me stop you right there. Stop thinking about Trump. Okay?
No, that's what I'm saying.
Stop thinking about Trump.
I'm looking at the next step past this. I know it's going to take heads on the block because ain't nobody going to let this roll. You know what I mean? The big dogs ain't going to let.
Do you talk politics with friends and family much?
No, sir.
Well,
I've got.
Because all we can do, look, not every problem.
Without the American dream, it's all over with. You feel me? And if we can't protect children, the health, the schooling, the transparency, the security of all this shit, we ain't hunting the dream no more. We're the hunted. You feel me?
So I get this question all the time. I get the question of what do we do? What do we do? And the fact that you're asking it
right now.
The fact that you're asking the question already shows that you're on the right path. I can't answer the question for you. You have to answer the question. Now, you can do what you want with the information that we give to you. You can do what we want with, say, a motivational speech I might give here. That's up to you how you want to handle that. But the fact that you're asking the question is in the right direction. So, yeah, I look at two things. I look at this and I say, okay.
Can I say one other thing before we go off?
Go ahead.
I don't want to go into any of these big issues that are in the world. I want to look at just basic constitutional law, like being able to hunt, fish, free water, all of these basic human rights that we have that have been taken away. Those are the things that we need to be looking at and focusing on, not all of these big problems. Because everybody in this America that's paycheck to paycheck, we feel day-to-day shit. We all feel the Charlie Kirk stuff too, but we feel day to day. I'm just asking about where are we going? Who are we looking at to maybe have our backs? Do we need somebody to stand up and put their head on the block? Because I would be glad to do so.
Are you talking about like getting involved in local politics or a school board or what?
Presidential shit. Like, somebody's got to come up and say what needs to be said.
Well, that's why I asked if you talk.
You know what I mean?
That's why I ask if you talk to friends and family about politics. Are you influencing the people around you?
I am nobody, homie. My car's broke down in the driveway. I walk to work. I'm paycheck to paycheck. Like, I'm just now starting into this. Like, I've been screwed for 25 years. My daughter's kept from me. I can't own a weapon. Like, I'm just trying to reach out and see who I can look to, who I can follow, where can we go next? Who are the big dogs that are going to do the American people right?
All right. Well, I have an answer for you. You might not like it, but are you ready?
Hopefully it's God, homie.
Well, it's always God, but that wasn't my answer, but it's always God. But God will help you if you put faith in God. But do you want the real answer?
Yes, sir.
The only answer to your problems, unfortunately, which are just they're not going to go away overnight, but the only solution is you, brother. That's it. There's only one man that can do whatever he can to fix your life, and that's you, and that's just the truth. And I've been down and out, man. I've been there before. I understand where you're at. Believe me, I do. But the truth is there's only one person right now that can fix your life, and that's you. And it's not going to happen overnight. It might take years, man. It might take years of a struggle. It might take years. But there's only you. There's only you. And that's just the fact. It's not easy. It's not fun. People go through hardships. It's true. Sounds like you might be having some. But at the end of the day, there's only one person. There's only one person for you, and that's you, brother. And that's you. And if you wake up every day and believe that, and if you wake up every day and just do the little things to try to improve your life and try to get going in the right direction, eventually you'll get where you want to go. But that's just the truth, man. It's unfortunately, it's just you. And maybe along the way, God will provide you an outlet, and maybe along the way, God will provide you a support group. But at the end of the day, it's you. It's you, man. It's you, and it's you waking up and believing in yourself. It's you believing that God is going to give you the opportunities that you need, and having the patience and the serenity to get to where it is you want to go.
Yeah, I feel you. I got Serenity tattooed on my back. This is about the next generation. This ain't about me. Like, my grandfolks, my folks, everybody's been screwed. If we talk about reparations, that's a death sentence. You talk about the American dollar, it's a death sentence. You talk about 90% less government type shit, like the political ideological way of this can't just be a one-step kind of issue. Like, it can't just be a one-headed monster. Like, it has to be a multi-group type thing.
Well, the groups are starting to align. The groups are starting to align right now. This is happening right now.
I feel that, and that's why I tried to reach out to you. Like, I know I like MATA. There's a lot of people out there that's doing the right thing.
You know, and I don't know all of your personal struggles. You voiced some of them
Hey,
here.
I am happy. I am a happy guy.
Well,
Like,
that's
my
that's
life
good.
blows,
That's
but I'm
number
a
one.
happy dude.
That's number one. And let me just say this, and I got to take some other calls. We're about to close out the hour, but I'll just say this. I'll put myself out there a little bit. And I was probably a lot younger than you, but there was a point in my life. I was 20 years old. And I kind of talked about this the other day with when I was doing some of the CLAV coverage, and I talked about feeling young and invincible, but flying too close to the sun and then burning your wings. And I had a time in my life where, I felt hopeless. I I was down in the dumps, and I had a good support group. I had family. I had friends that, made sure that I was, never depressed or alone or whatever. And I never suffered with that anyway. But I remember there was a time in my life where it was like, man, is there any opportunity for me? And I remember I faced myself. And I said, you basically have two options. You can either look at the world around you and you can blame life's difficulty level on the environment that you're in, or you can look at yourself and not make any excuses, but just get up and go. And I'm glad I chose the latter. And here I am. Doesn't mean it's easy. Doesn't mean there's not going to be more challenges and more struggles. But that's just how life is. There's no such thing as equality, this big lie they tell you about equality. There is no equality. There's never going to be equality. There's just you. There's just you and your life. And as far as who knows? This whole world could be just you. Everything else could just be fake. It could just be you. This whole thing, everything around you, it could just be you. You are the main character in this movie. In fact, somebody said this. I forget who it was. And it was really great advice. It stuck with me. And they said, if your life is a movie and you're the main character and everyone else is just watching, and they're watching this movie and they're looking at you, what are they saying? What are they saying? They're watching your movie. You're the main character. What is everybody in the audience saying? And if the answer is obvious, then there it is. If the answer to that question is obvious, then you already know it. So that's all I can say. Some heavy calls today. I don't know if I was expecting that today, but that's where we're at. Final break of the show.
You're listening to the Owen Report on the Win Network.
All right, guys, you know it. You know the official coffee of the Owen Report, and you know how I feel about the premium instant coffee from our friends at blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. Now, if you have a business, let me make a suggestion. If you have a business and you have a bunch of employees, you probably have a coffee pot. You probably have coffee on the brewing or been brewed, whatever. You probably got it all the time. Just for your consideration, get some boxes. Get some boxes of the premium instant coffee. And when they see this, you say, hey, are you guys, hey, we like drinking coffee here. Okay, we like drinking coffee. There's usually coffee in the pot, but, sometimes it's not fresh or it's cold or whatever. Hey, guys, I want you to try something. I just bought a bunch of boxes. Right now, you get 30% off 4 boxes, by the way. 30% off 4 boxes at blackoutcoffee.com/Owen of their premium instant coffee. Say, hey, guys, if you just want 1 cup of coffee and you don't want to deal with, brewing a whole pot, maybe you're the only one at the office, whatever. We just got this premium instant coffee. Give it a try. All you need is hot water, stir it up, and you got great coffee. And maybe at first they're a little hesitant. They're thinking, no, I don't want instant coffee. It's no good. Well, they'll like this. I guarantee you they will like this. So, if you got employees at the office that like drinking coffee, put a couple boxes of this out there. You know what? It might just boost morale. We're talking about morale today. This might just boost morale. It gives them energy. That's why people like coffee. They need the energy boost. This takes care of all of it. Premium instant coffee from blackoutcoffee.com/Owen. Big sale happening right now. 15% off one box, 20% off two, 25% off three, 30% off of four. This is truly the best instant coffee in the game. I don't even think there's any other in the game, quite frankly. You know, there's other instant coffees out there, but they're not really competing. They're like bush leaguers, minor leaguers. They're not pros. This is the pros. This is truly the pros, and that's why it's the premium instant coffee. Big sale. Load up on the boxes. I know I did. My pantry is filled with them right now. It'll all get drank. You won't regret it. Best premium instant coffee on the market. Our friends, blackoutcoffee.com/Owen.
Back to the show with your favorite talk show host, Tits McGee.
Your favorite. The one and only. Did you see the science, by the way? They just came out with a new study. This is true, guys. Gals, listen up. They just came out with a new study. It can improve your quality of life and your length of life. Touching women's breasts. Yes. Those things are magical, aren't they? There's a reason why we like them so much. There's a reason why everybody likes them so much. There's a reason why they get so much attention. They're magic. Literally, they're magic. They make life. They sustain life forever. For everyone. It's new science out, guys and gals. Listen. All right. All right. Make sure we cover it. We cover them all here. All right. I think we're going to get back into some of the news and then get into some of the super chats here. Some heavy calls there. I didn't really anticipate that, but that's how it goes. But I really mean all that. And I'm not going to let you go into the weekend upset or depressed. Just shake it. Just shake it off. Just try to shake it off as best you can. Try to shake it off as best you can heading into the weekend. And maybe we'll reevaluate. Maybe we'll reevaluate on Monday. But let's try to shake it off. Let's try to shake it off heading to the weekend happy. All right. Let's just start getting into some of this stuff in the news here. This is, I don't even know what this is. This the current Senator John Cornyn here in Texas. I'm not even sure how to present this. Let's just go to the clip.
I want to take a moment to say Eid Mubarak to our Muslim friends observing Ramadan. Thanks to my friends at Islamic Relief USA. Ramadan Mubarak. Inshallah. I want to take a moment.
All right. Now, there's a big fight here in Texas. And, you know, I don't really like buying into this whole Islam versus Jews thing. I'm sick of it. and don't get me into the whole assimilation and all that. I don't, just stop. I don't want anything to do with any of it. All right, just stop. Just leave it all alone. But you have to say that's weird. That's weird from a Republican in Texas. Very weird, especially when there's this whole push against Islam and everything else. And I'm wondering, like, so Cornyn is going to lose. He's about to lose. It's probably going to be Paxton. That's who I'm backing. I like Hunt, but I'm going with Paxton. Cornyn is going to lose. And so is this like some weird test that they're running with the Islam issue? Or is he like banking a bunch of money before he goes out? Very weird stuff. I mean, not too many politicians on the right that are trying to cozy up to Islam, especially in Texas. Very odd. So I'm curious what that is all about. But I guess he's going to be done soon anyway. All right, then there's a Bongino. So Bongino goes on Hannity last night. This tough guy act from Bongino. And look, I don't know Dan like that. Okay? And obviously he's been a cop. He's been in Secret Service. And it does take, it takes a certain level of fortitude to serve those roles. But I do know about fake tough guy acts in the media. I know about that very well. And so that's kind of the aura that he's rolling with now. This, big tough guy act. Which, you know what? When you're the former Secret Service guy, when you're the former cop, okay, you can pull it off. But now that you left the FBI while your president is still serving as president and you leave the FBI and you come back to your media stoop with nothing spectacular to show, the tough guy act, it is very hollow. It's falling apart. It's a house of cards. But it continues on. So this was Hannity with Bongino last night.
And you did say in an ex post, you've got scores to settle when you get back on the air. I kind of like Dan Bongino out of a suit and very real and keeping it real like you always do. It sounds like you mean business. Want to give us a little preview?
Yeah, I mean, these media people, they're like a full diaper all the time. I mean, my daughter just turned 14, so it's been about 13 years since I changed any diapers. But that's the media. Some of the story, here, let me give you a perfect example. If this doesn't make you laugh, this was just today, perfect timing. Yeah. I didn't even intend to talk about this. Axios, obviously left-leaning. Axios has this headline about the homicide rate being the lowest since the 1900s. I was like, wow, okay. I start reading down the article like, well, there's 1,000 excuses as to why President Trump and his administration didn't do it. Meanwhile, I lived it. I know what we did and didn't do for these dumbasses, right? Same day, about an hour later, I see a New York Times headline. Kash Patel's FBI has made America less safe. Do you dipwads even read your own headlines? Are you that stupid? These are these media morons. People who've never spent a day wearing a badge, never kicked in a door, never arrested some child predator or some bank robber or some gang member. These morons don't know anything about the safety status of the country. The border's sealed. The military's never been stronger under Pete Hegseth. And the FBI went out and just arrested a historic number of animals off the street, and the murder rate plunged. This isn't hard to figure out. But the same day, murder rates all-time low. The country's less safe. Do these people even hear themselves? They are a big, full diaper.
Okay, so it looks like Dan has maybe read the room here as he's now, I think, 11 days until he returns to his show. So it looks like Dan has kind of read the room enough to know, all right, you know, going into the divide on the right wing and going after the people on the right that aren't so pleased with the Trump administration or the outcome so far. Okay, maybe that's not the move. All right, so it looks like maybe he's kind of figured that out. So then he says, okay, I'll go back to the let's go after the leftists shtick. Let's go after the liberal media shtick. Dan, that ain't it either, brother. That ain't going to turn the knob. That ain't going to keep the attention. I mean, there might be room for that. There's a time and a place for that. And I'm not even disagreeing with what you said. But we just won the election. We're still in power as we see it. The House, the Senate, the White House. This isn't about owning the left media. This isn't about proving that the left-wing media are a bunch of liars. This isn't about, we don't have anything to prove, and we don't need to. It's not a necessity. We did it. We won the elections. We're in power. This is all about deep state arrests. This is all about ending foreign aid. This is all about stopping regime change wars. This is all about make America great again. Like, that's why there's the divide on the right. Because we're not getting what we voted for. So I guess Bongino has kind of learned, it's like, I don't really know if that's the playing field I want to go into here. I don't know if I'm so comfortable with that. And now that he's had a little more time to read the room, maybe he realizes it's like, yeah, that's not the fight. So I'm going to go back to owning the libs. Dan, that's not really the fight either, brother. That's a done deal. It's over. All right, there's room for that. So I don't know. It looks like he's kind of just lost right now. It looks like he's lost. And you can only make assumptions about why he left. And it could be a combination of factors, but it would be the most likely that he misses his old life. He misses his old show and his old life. It was probably a lot less stressful, a lot more profitable. He got to spend more time with his family. So you understand that. You understand that. You won't knock him for that. But then just admit it. Don't act like this is some tough guy shtick. Like, oh, I am more effective on the podcast. Or, oh, I got a bone to pick with the liberal media, so I need to go back. What? Dan, if you like the podcaster lifestyle more than the FBI director lifestyle, nobody's gonna blame you for that. There might be some kind of, some side eyes like, you had the opportunity to do it and you didn't. But at least we can understand, like, okay, this is why he made the decision. I don't think too many people would blame him for that. But the whole, tough guy act on the air would lose a little bit of its luster, for sure. And maybe that's why he's afraid to say that. Or the other assumption would be he can't do it. He can't do it because the swamp is too deep. He can't do it because things are too corrupt. He can't do it because Trump doesn't want it to be done. Or he can't do it because he just literally can't. So it's just like this continued, like, how do I find my new identity? How do I find my new identity? As if Sean Hannity is going to help you with that. As if Sean TikTok indictments are coming, Hannity is going to be anybody to lean on to try to find your new identity or bring back the momentum you had when you left. I'm not against Dan Bongino. I'd even say I'm rooting for him. But you can't change the past. You talked about deep state arrest. You made your entire online shtick, your entire show was all about the tough guy act, Russiagate, the books, Spygate, stolen election, all of it. The vaccines even. He came out against the vaccines. He regrets getting it. So he presented himself as one of us, anti-establishment, get the bad guys. and then he got into the position to do that, and he didn't, that's done. That's a done deal. You can't change that. That deal is done, Dan. So now all you can do is go back to your show and I guess try to figure out how you're going to deal with the fact that wasn't done. Now, even though I think that's just bad lighting there with the shiny forehead and everything, probably just bad lighting, it does look like he's kind of cooled off a little bit. You know, the first thrust of the teasing of the return and the backlash on the right, it looks like he's kind of cooled off of that a little bit. And maybe that's from getting back with his family and stuff, and that's fine. But the identity crisis, I think, is still there. The identity crisis is still there. And we don't want to hear about the FBI doing its job. We don't. We want to know why the Clintons haven't been arrested. We want to know why the Biden crime family hasn't been arrested. We want to know why there's no arrest thus far from the stolen election. We want to know why there's no arrest so far from Russiagate, Spygate, you know, the things that you're the expert in, the things that you wrote the books on, the things that you talked about for 8 years. That's what we want to know. We don't need to hear about how the left-wing media is corrupt. We don't need to hear about how the left-wing media is filled with liars. We don't need to hear that. We're not fighting the left. They're not in power. So what is Bongino? What is going to be the third phase? I think there's going to be one more phase before he returns to air. What is the third phase going to be? He obviously faced the music that, okay, I can't go against the dissident right. I can't do it. It's a losing battle. Smart move. Smart move, Dan. All right, you read the room. You saw that. Good job. Not a good fight to pick. Now, I don't think he's going to join the dissident right because he's got way too much access. He's way too embedded now. So, all right, I don't expect him to join the dissident right. I guess that's still an option, but he'd have to probably do some uncomfortable things, and I don't think he's going to do that. So he thinks, all right, I'll go back to kind of let's go after the left. I'll go back to owning the libs and going after the left-wing media. Well, he's going to figure out that ain't it either. So what is the third phase now before he returns to his show in 9 days or 10 days? What is the third phase? I think there's going to be one more phase here before he returns to his show. But it's pretty simple to me. If Dan Bongino wants to restore the credibility he had and the mass audience than he had, he's going to have to belly up and tell us why none of this is happening. Now, here's my canary in the coal mine, because Bongino to me was already the canary in the coal mine. I said that months ago, that if Bongino leaves, that's the canary in the coal mine. None of it's going to happen. Because if he believed that all of these deep state arrests were going to happen, then he wouldn't leave. He'd want to be there for that. That's what I think, at least. Seems like that would be pretty obvious that he'd want to be there for that. He'd want to be at the press conferences. He'd want to be there for the perp walks. He'd want to be there and take that credit and put that on his resume. Now, some people think, oh, he's going back to his podcast to be a voice box for the Trump administration because so many people on the right in the media world have turned on Trump. So they're saying, hey, can you go back to your show? We need some positive press. We need a positive show host to, fluff the campaign or, fluff the administration, fluff the midterms. So there's, I don't know. I don't buy into that because Trump didn't seem too happy with the move. But okay, that could be the case. And if we see Bongino become that, then it might get a little more weight to those opinions. But no, the only way is for Bongino to explain why it's not happening. That's the only way. Now, if he comes out and he says, oh, it's all going to happen, well, now he's gone all in. Now, whatever credibility he has left, whatever audience he has left, if he goes on air and says, don't worry, all the arrests are coming and pulls a Sean Hannity, the TikTok indictments are coming from the first Trump administration that never came. If he goes on air and makes these claims and goes all in on that, that'll be interesting. But there will be a third phase. I think he's going to realize that the whole, own the libs, go after the left-wing media. I think he's going to realize that shtick ain't selling. Nobody wants to tune in and hear that every day now. And then there'll be a third phase. The only question is, what will it be? Well, I don't know. I might tune into 1 or 2 episodes, and then I don't think I'll be too much more curious after that, honestly. All right, so Kash Patel had an announcement, and I want to play this video, but then I want to tell a story. Actually, I want to tell a story. But here's Kash Patel. They caught a big drug dealer.
More. This is what a united front looks like. And just to tell you how bad of a guy Ryan Wedding is, he went from an Olympic snowboarder to the largest narco trafficker in modern times. He is a modern day El Chapo. He is a modern day Pablo Escobar. And he thought he could evade justice. But these brave men and women put together a prosecution package, put together an investigative package, put together an operation strategy. And here we are today, bringing him to justice for trafficking hundreds of kilos of cocaine and also for the murder of innocent civilians. This individual and his organization in the Sinaloa cartel poured narcotics into the streets of North America and killed too many of our youth and corrupted too many of our citizens. And that ends today. I also want to have a tremendous shout out to the government of Mexico. President Sheinbaum, Secretary Harfuch, and the military and law enforcement officers of Mexico worked hand in glove with our teams on the ground there to apprehend last night in Mexico City, Ryan Wedding. I was privileged to be there on a previously planned trip, and this was a great operation that came together through interagency success because no one behind me and to the side of me cares about credit. They care about putting away the bad guys and safeguarding our communities.
All right, so, you can talk about the glazing of Scheinbaum and, he's Pablo Escobar. Yeah, I think that's kind of the Trump sales pitch of, everything I do is the greatest of all time type of thing. So it seems like he's picked up a couple Trump tactics there. But they get this guy, former Olympic skier turned or snowboarder turned drug dealer. Now, I want to tell you guys a funny story here of a guy that I met in prison. So this was also a drug dealer, and he got caught a couple times. He got caught one time and got I think it was paroled or he got released, and then he got caught a second time, but he was able to evade arrest, and he ended up fleeing the country, and he went down to Mexico, and he was down there for a couple of years. And he ended up working on Bernie Madoff apparently had a huge compound down there, a massive compound. And he ended up working on Bernie Madoff's compound, just, working the land, landscaping, whatever, just household duties, stuff like that. And he was down there for years, evading the FBI and trying to stay out of prison. So he's down there for years, never leaves the compound. Never. He's living there. He's got everything he needs there. So he never has to leave. So he's just living there on Bernie Madoff's compound. This was the story he told me. And it actually sounds familiar with some of the stuff Kash was saying. So anyway, so he's working there. So the compound hires a new gal. They hire a new gal. And this gentleman takes a liking to her. And they get along. But he's never leaving the compound. He's like, I'm not leaving the compound. It's just, I can't do it. But gets a little relationship with this gal, and she starts inviting him out. She's like, hey, come out with us. Come out with us. Come out with us. He's like, no. Well, eventually he goes out with her. He goes out. So they go to a club or a bar or something, whatever. He goes out one time. Goes out with this gal, and he has a good time. And he's like, oh, okay. He goes out, doesn't get arrested, goes back to the compound, and it's like, oh, okay, maybe I'm okay now. Maybe I'm clear. Goes out with her again. All right. Gets a little suspicious. He's a little suspicious. He's looking around his shoulder, and okay, that's a little suspicious. All right, but all right, doesn't get arrested. So now he's feeling more comfortable. So one day he decides he's going to take a job at the compound that requires him to leave and fill up one of the vehicles with gas. So he's got a card, a cell phone, and he's going to fill these vehicles up with gasoline. pulls up to the gas station, runs the card, and he says before the car gets filled, he gets surrounded by feds, and they arrest him, and they bring him back, and now they've got him. And he was working off like a 10-year sentence. He was a custodian in the SHU when I was in solitary. Is when I met him. So he was a custodian in the SHU working off time of his 10-year sentence. He said he's out now. He's actually out now. We were wondering who would get out first because both of our release dates were virtually the same. I think I got him. I think I beat him by like a day or two. But we saw each other in processing. So now he thinks he wasn't sure how it went down. He wasn't sure if it was the credit card swipe or it was a cell phone ping, or maybe they sent this gal in and she ends up getting a job at the compound IDing him and is like, okay, a couple dates, whatever. He's like, yeah, this is the guy. This is him. And then they bust him when he leaves and goes and gets gas. So they do these operations. But that was just one of the crazy stories. That was one of the crazy stories I heard when I was in there. By the way, though, apparently this came out. You know what? I don't want to. We've had our heaviness today, and then we've had our lightness today. So I just kind of want to go out in the final 30 minutes. We'll read your super chats now. I don't want to get too heavy, but a lot of weird stuff going on with the TPUSA stuff. Some very concerning, revealing text messages revealed that were sent to Charlie not too long before he got assassinated. Some weirdness with this new Erica Kirk, like church group and the people she's associating with. I don't want to go too much into the detail, guys. I just don't want to do it right now. If you want to find it, it's out there. All right. It's out there. It's everywhere. But there's another weird thing that hit the news. Apparently, after Charlie was assassinated, the FBI was concerned about the social media response. And this is what people were saying. I guess you could call them whistleblowers. They're saying behind the scenes after Charlie was assassinated that Kash Patel and Dan Bongino were really concerned about getting a social media strategy to deal with people that doubted the official narrative on social media. And then you had this. I don't know who this gentleman is that Andrew Tate went on. I don't know whose show this is. But listen to what he says.
Why do you think Charlie Kirk was assassinated? Do you think it was because of feminism?
Let's talk as professionals here. Sorry for the pause. I'm just scanning what's going to keep me alive. So I know who killed him. And the only person who is overtly giving theories as to who killed him publicly is Candace. The reason Candace is breathing is because she is a woman and because she is black. And the people in charge have thought, they've concluded, you know what? Let a black woman scream. Most people will, even if they listen to her, it's a black chick and we're just going to let her scream into the air and we'll just put it down to black female hysterical action. So let's put it down to that.
You think that's it?
Yeah. We'll get some bots on Twitter and we'll get everyone to call her crazy and we'll pretend she's hysterical and we'll push all of this narrative that she's nuts with some paid influencers. And we're going to get everyone to call her crazy, even if she's right on the fucking money, even if she gets it perfectly right. Even in one of her episodes, if she describes it perfect, we're just going to convince everyone she's nuts because she's a black chick and we can convince people that she's just hysterical. Like the Walmart ran out of fucking cocoa butter and she's mad. So let's just do that. If you're a man in a sharp suit like yours, or if I put a suit on and I sit there and I break it down in a very logical, there still is that degree of misogyny in the world where a man is taken a little bit more seriously with some things. And then if you get it directly on the money with a different tone and they can't really call you crazy, if you don't give them the second life, if you don't give them an easy layup, well, then you pay the price.
Now, I want to give a little context to what Andrew said there, and then kind of give a little bit more of a a deeper background into some of his analysis. Now, in that same interview, Tate said that he works with, or that he has Israelis that run his tech, and he works with Israeli tech teams. So a lot of people were freaking out about that and then tying the two things together. Maybe fair, maybe not. The other thing is, and I know Andrew's getting a lot of heat right now because of the way he's responded after Clubacost. But remember that Tate still has some ongoing legal stuff. So that could be strategic. And when you hear him say, hey, I'm trying to stay alive right now, maybe it gives a little more context into that. But I want to give you a little more depth into something else that he said. And it sounds like, I mean, he says he knows who killed him. So, I mean, and it also sounds like he's saying, hey, by the way, wink, wink, nod, nod, Candace is 100% right. So, but interpret that how you want. I think it's all kind of obvious, but interpret that how you want. But he says, you know, if you're a man in a suit saying this stuff, they're going to kill you. And, you know, how can I say this? There's a reason why I don't like wearing the suit and tie, guys. There's a reason why I don't like wearing the suit and tie. There's a reason why me and Alex for years fought over this. He wanted me on air every day in a suit and tie, and I just didn't want to. So there's a reason for that. And it's a little bit of it right there. So it really is crazy. And he said other stuff on the Patrick Bet David podcast that kind of, you know, went off. And I understand it, a little arrogant and kind of like pushing back on the people that are, say, calling him out. He's like, hey, you know, I'm the real deal, whatever. I'm the top tier guy. You wouldn't understand. And there's an element of truth to that, but it rubs people the wrong way. And, you know, here's Top G and all this stuff. And it looks like he's trying to avoid now the controversy, whatever. So I'm not here to inject myself into that. I'm just doing the commentary from somebody that wasn't involved, but has met just about everybody involved in it, talked to everybody involved in it. But you do have to understand that, you know, all it takes is one or two incidents for you to realize that you're one move away from getting killed. You're one move away from getting killed. And whether or not you believe the official narrative when it comes to the Charlie Kirk assassination, obviously Charlie realized and felt the same way, folks. It's pretty obvious because we can see his text messages. So he knew. He knew. And like I said, folks, all it takes is one or two things to happen before you realize you're like, yeah, I'm one or two moves away from getting killed myself, aren't I? So yeah, there's a reason why I don't wear the suit and tie. There's a reason why I don't go out in the streets. And I saw now, I feel bad for the individuals. I don't know if this made my final list. I don't think it did. I think I got rid of this. I don't see it on my in my stack here. But they just put out the the Antifa groups, all of them just put out their new hit list. Actually, here it is right here. I'll pull this up. They just put out their new hit list. And I salute the individuals here, and I wish them nothing but the best and their safety and their precaution. And but I got to tell you, folks, to not be on this list for like the first time ever, it was kind of a relief. I'm going to be honest with you. It's kind of a relief. Because obviously you can see now, like this stuff is real, man. They'll kill you. So I wish nothing but the best for the people that are on these lists now. I hope you guys are smart. Stay safe. But I tell you, I was breathing a sigh of relief that for once I'm not on that list. Now I get put on different lists. I get put on different lists now by different groups, by foreign interests. But stay safe out there, guys. Stay safe out there. All right. I'm gonna abandon the rest of the stack here. Let's do super chats. Let's do that before we sign off. As we do here at the end of the show, we go to our super chats. Please, if you want your chat read on the air, you just have to submit it on YouTube. Give us a subscribe on YouTube, trying to build that up. Trying to build up the YouTube subscribers, and that's how you can guarantee your chat gets read on the air, is on the YouTube super chats. So here we go. Captain Hard starts us off. They already started banning TikTok accounts that criticize Israel. Yeah, so like I said, I'm TikTok basically retarded. I'm not on there. I don't use TikTok. I have a TikTok account. The Owen Report has a TikTok account that we launched when we launched the show, but I don't run it. I have a social media girl that runs it. She's good at that stuff. She's good on TikTok. So she runs it. We never had a problem. We never had a problem with content or censorship until now that the Israeli interests took it over. And now all the stuff that she puts up, that's foreign policy, all the stuff that she puts up, that's geopolitics, it's all been removed now. Some of my top videos on TikTok were all removed now after this change. So it's obvious what's going on. So look, I just told her, I was like, hey, you know the platform better than me. You know, make the adjustments as you see fit, and just handle it as it is. But yeah, it's happening in real time. But we all knew. I mean, we all knew what that transfer was all about. It was, you know, giving that over so that Israel could censor it. And so they're doing it now. SGA for MVP. Thunder up. Well, I don't really follow the NBA much at all. I get, you know, every once in a while I get Spurs news and stuff. I got friends that are big Spurs fans, season ticket holders. They try to get me to go to the games all the time. And I think following Wemby is kind of interesting. But I don't know. I guess the Thunder just won last year, and SGA was the MVP. I will say I tuned into a little bit of that run. I can't stand. I just can't. The way that the NBA plays basketball now is just so boring to me. It's so boring. I would much rather go on YouTube and find a video of a 1990s, you know, Eastern Conference final or something when they played real basketball. Now, you notice, here's one thing too. You notice how these NBA players barely sweat now? It's because there's so many damn timeouts. Between TV timeouts and actual timeouts and replay timeouts, these players don't even sweat. There's more time standing around than there is actually playing. It's a boring product. And it was so obvious last year watching the Thunder run. Like, that's all they do. And it was James Harden that kind of introduced that style of play where you just play to foul. Like, that's it. You just play to get to the free throw line. So that was kind of the Harden thing. But I guess that's what SGA does. They just call these fouls. It's just, it sucks. It's bad ball. It's bad ball. I hope they don't win again. It's bad ball. Sorry, you're probably a fan. Tay from Florida. AOC is nothing compared to my Latina girlfriend. Well, people may ask you to show up on that. AOC's mom lives in Central Florida. Easy now. My girlfriend allows me to get it on with AOC. I don't know. Whole hour hub watch. What is that? I don't want to know, actually. I don't even know. No. I used to drive a 94 Toyota Celica GT 5-speed manual. They don't make them like that anymore, although that car's probably still running. Captain Hard, this country is so corrupt, I would be okay if they had kept the corruption in America. The amount of fraud money we send and illegal stuff we do overseas, it's crazy. That's how bad America has gotten. What is the gal's name? There's a Ukrainian, she's an award-winning Ukrainian journalist. I'm trying to get her on the show. Her English is limited, but she does do interviews in English. And we've been in touch. And she is breaking all of this news. Guys, do you understand? They do these investigations in Ukraine, and they find I mean, stacks of cash doesn't even describe it. They find entire rooms of U.S. cash. Entire rooms of U.S. cash. Like they stole so much money in Ukraine. It's unbelievable. I guess it's like, yeah, if we're going to have corruption, at least if the money stays here, it stays here. But when they send it to Ukraine and everywhere else, it's even worse. Oh, it's not new Gaza. It's Jew Gaza. Well, it was always theirs, you know, even though Bibles from pre-1930 all have it as Palestine, but ignore that. Ignore that. Ohio Mitch 88. There's nothing better than a good editorial cartoon. We used to be a proper country. Free Palestine, free America. One of the best was Scott Adams. One of the best. Do people don't really, are the comics still a thing in the newspapers? Franklin Franco. How you don't have more subscribers. Yeah, I get that a lot. Well, I'll just address it real quick. But no, folks, I was banned from everything. I was banned for everything for years. I got banned from all social media in 2018. Everything. Now, when they took me originally off, I'm going to be careful. Folks, I had hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Billions of views. So if I would have been able to stay and not hit with the censorship, I probably would have the number of subscribers and followers and viewers that you would anticipate. But I'm rebuilding. I'm rebuilding from scratch, essentially, here. I'm not able to carry over all of my prior work because that stays at my former employer, essentially. So we're starting from scratch here. That's okay. I don't mind. If you build it, they will come. I'm going to keep doing the work. Yeah, everybody would want, of course I want more subscribers, but we're just going to do it. We're just going to do the work. If they build it, if you build it, they will come but hey, you can help. Share it. Get your friends, your family, everything. Tay-Tay is back. SiriusXM used to give me a free app and internet streaming, no physical sat radio receiver subscription for about 5 years, especially during the pandemic, since they thought I ran a coffee shop. Well, SiriusXM does a good job of getting you in the door. And then I guess you find ways to stay there without paying. They'll find you. You're going to have to pay up, Tay-Tay. I think it's worth it. I love SiriusXM, so I don't know. I'm a big fan. Ken Rose with the thumbs up. Thanks, Ken. Karina Hall. Killing it. Karina. I think that's a new one. Or Karen Hall. Sorry, Karen. I think you're a new one today. Nice to have you here. The Board of Peace. You get a piece of the Gaza Strip. You get a piece of the West Bank. You get a piece of the Golan Heights. Well, that's right. That was the Elon Musk joke yesterday. But they want the whole thing, though. They don't want just a piece. So non-J areas of Florida over J areas of Florida. You and Tay-Tay and the Florida politics, man. This guy between Latinas and Florida politics. It's everywhere. Older gens like boomers are Israel firsters. Yeah, 100%. Well, but again, you have to understand the way that they perceive this entire debate is the left-right paradigm. And this is how it was sold to them for years that, oh, the right supports Israel, the left doesn't. So they just think it's a left-right paradigm. And that's why when you see this debate, like with Nick Fuentes and with Dinesh D'Souza, he's like, oh, you're a leftist. This is the leftists. And it's like, no, bro, it ain't like that. I get it, too. It's hilarious. They're like, you're striking a nerve here, okay? You're striking a nerve here. Because I get that too. They're like, oh, look, Schroyer's a leftist. And I'm like, show me one leftist policy that I support. Show me one liberal leftist policy that I'm out here promoting. And they're like, you don't support Israel. And I'm like, how is that leftist? And yeah, you're brainwashed. Israel is Black Lives Matter for conservatives. We don't buy into it anymore. We're not brainwashed by it anymore. The right wing has more options for media anymore that's not controlled by the Israel interests. But that's why it's dying out. That's why James Fishback is popular. That's why we're monitoring that campaign. But even they're figuring it out. Even they're realizing it now too. Yeah, that's what they tried to do. They tried to make it a left-right issue. And it worked for years, but not anymore. Logic, man. I keep listening because you think. I just hope you don't step one step short of full independence. Truth over team is where wisdom and influence live. Logic, man. I think at least you're new to the super chats. So thank you. I'm not sure exactly what you mean. I do think a lot, though. Sometimes maybe too much. But I am fully independent. So I'm not exactly sure what you mean by that. I mean, I have sponsors of the show. We've never had any issues with that. We've never had any issues with those. I will tell you that, let's say, if in case there were, I don't think that there would be, but in case that there were, as I said earlier, we are pushing the pedal to the metal on some proprietary products. So I guess if that's what you mean, but I'm fully independent. Nobody tells me what to do. I run this whole show. I run this entire show. I run everything. And I've got 2 people that work for me. So I'm already totally independent, but yeah, we get funding from sponsors. But we've never had an issue with that. And I don't anticipate we will, but we're, let's say we'll make measures in case we do. But I'm independent, man. I'm fully independent now. I'm not with anybody. The Win Network, that's mine. I started the Win Network. That's my network. Scotty Gesso, this is for not blocking my soul-saving truth. Bless you. Best mods on YouTube. Yeah, well, the best mods are no mods. And that's how we operate. I did see it looked like somebody was spamming today. We'll notice. That's the only thing we'll get rid of is spamming, is somebody that just sits there and copy and paste, and just spams the chat. That's one thing that we may end up getting rid of if it gets too overwhelming. We haven't had that issue yet, though. So the best mods are no mods, in my opinion. Robert Bickerstaff, in the beginning of a change, the patriot is a scarce man, brave, hated, scorned. But in time, when his cause succeeds, the timid join him, for then it costs nothing to be a patriot. We're seeing that in real time, brother. We are seeing that in real time. And the funny thing is, we saw that with Trump over the years. Like, that was kind of the Trump phenomenon from 2015 to 2024. But now it's moved on. Now we've evolved from Trump. We've moved on from Trump. He can decide what he wants his legacy to be. But yeah, now it's different. Now it's definitely different. Danny Norton Kim, thank you for the motivation and inspiration. You're welcome. You're welcome. I enjoy it. I actually do enjoy it. I've even said I need to do a self-help show, but that's kind of that's a whole new arena right there, isn't it? Methylene Blue. This is Rex. Phenomenal show as always, Owen. Looking forward to collaborating soon. I'm assuming that's Rex Jones. So love you, Rex. And, maybe someday we could tell some funny stories from our earlier days at InfoWars. We had some fun. So Rex is talking about a collaboration. And I was saying this the other day. And Rex Jones has his own show now, by the way. I was saying this the other day, how I want to do, and I reached out to a couple other people in Austin. Rex is based in Austin. And I reached out to a couple other people here in Austin that do live shows, political commentary stuff. And I reached out and I said, hey, do you want to do some street content? Do you want to do some, in real life content? Because people in Austin don't really do that. I don't know. It's not really a thing here in Austin, at least not in the, let's say, the political world. And as I've been saying for years, one of the best advice maybe I ever got was find a void and fill it. And there's no doubt that's a void here in Austin. So I talked to Rex the other day. He wants to do a collab next month. I talked to a couple other people down here that are pretty popular. They want to do some collabs. So we're going to be working on that. So Rex Jones, guys, give him a follow on X. Follow his show there. 1 of 1K. Would you be shocked if YouTubers and streamers raised the newer generations more than their parents? If so, would it explain some of the disconnect? Well, I'm not exactly sure what you mean by the disconnect, and I don't want to make any assumptions. As far as the raising of the younger generations, I think there's an element of truth to that. And I think you could even go more general there and say, they're getting raised more by their iPads or by their, tablets or whatever. So there's definitely some directional truth there. I'm not sure if I don't know what you mean by the disconnect, so I don't really want to commit to any statement on that. I think that there's a lot of generational disconnects just because the world is such a different place. And I've been saying, I've said this many times, but I'll reiterate it. And this is, I think, this is where I think of the disconnect. And I don't know what you mean, but this is where I think of it. My experience growing up, let's say, was very similar to my father's. Okay. In that we had a lot of the similar life experiences. The world was similar enough between my father and his experience growing up and my life and my experience growing up. It was similar enough that there was a connection. There was a shared experience. There was a shared connection. And it was something that we could both relate to and understand. But now, I feel like now the world that let's say I grew up in, or the world that I grew up in, and let's say my kids are growing up in, or my kids are in, it's so different with all the technology and the smartphones and now the AI, and now it's integrated into everything and streaming. So the world that my generation and our parents grew up in was similar enough that we had a shared experience that we could connect and relate to. But now parents, the world that parents now, or that we grew up in compared to our kids, now it's totally different. Now the entire experience is different. So I don't know if that's what you mean by disconnect, but that's kind of how I interpret that. Dan Block Gino, tough on Twitter, soft on crime. Well, they did do good stuff at the FBI. Let's give them credit where it's due. But it's not what we wanted. It's not what we needed. So yeah. Easy, tough on X, easy on the deep state, maybe. Shanty Hum. Hi, Owen. Have a great weekend. Thank you. You too. Josh Little. I woke up this morning and my foreskin was missing. You son of a bitch. I literally know you took it from me, Owen. I want it back. All of it. You sick freak. You disgusting freak. But let me turn this let me turn this foreskin conversation into something serious, if you would. I think is the age of circumcision over? Are you going to circumcise your sons out there? I would tell you I'm not. I think it's barbaric. I can't even believe we ever allowed it. It's so barbaric. It's so sick. And I look at it now as it's just it's like getting marked. It's like getting branded. It's like getting marked by your slave master. It's like, eventually the slave masters are going to come up, strip us down, hold us up and say, okay, is this one of ours? Check the male member. Is this one of ours? It's like, is the foreskin there? Is it not? Like, oh, this is one of ours. All right, throw them in the back. Oh, this isn't one of ours. So I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that. I think it's barbaric. I think it's disgusting. Whoever came up with that idea, something wrong with you. I mean, that seems pretty universal, I'd say. It seems kind of common sense now. Maha Nimi, thumbs up. Thank you. Jordan Walker, give us our foreskins back, Owen. You son of a bitch. Go find it in your adrenochrome. Owen is selling our foreskins on Craigslist. That's it. That's it. How would you, what is wrong with you guys? Jesus. You find your own foreskin, man. Leave mine alone. Leave me out of this. What's Owen's bets of the weekend? F. Boner Gino. Total phony, as Rush would say. Sycophant. Totally a cuck, liar, terrible excuse for an American. He needs to admit the swamp is full of sludge to drain. All right, my bets this weekend. Don't take my betting advice. I'm on the Patriots big. Here, I'll even give you the exact I think I'm on everything Patriots. I'm considering the under in that game too. Let me see here. DMT says Patriot money line. He's on the Patriots too. I think I'm on everything Patriots right now, though, I have to tell you. But let me pull it up. Let's pull it up. I'm big on the St. Louis Billikens. I could have told you that. I was big on the St. Louis Billikens today. That's looking good. Go Bills. Go Bills. Shout out to the Billikens. I was big on them today. I just remember that. I pulled it up. There it is. That's a done deal. Nice one. Yeah, I got to say, the Rams as an underdog, I don't have any action on that. I'm looking at that big. I like the Rams as an underdog. I like the spread with the Rams. I'm not on that. But the Rams getting 2.5 and as an underdog, yeah, I'll probably be considering that. I'm all on the Patriots. I don't have the spread. I do have them on the money line. I'm thinking about the over. I have the Patriots to win the Super Bowl too. So I have the Patriots to win this week, and I have the Patriots to win the Super Bowl. I might consider the under. Seems low, 43.5. I don't know. I just don't know if Denver scores much, to be honest. And I could see Vrabel playing clock management and thinking all we are going to need is like 24 points to win this game. So if the Patriots win, say 24 to 10, 13? Yeah, I'll be considering that. All I have right now is Patriots to win and Patriots to win the Super Bowl. But I think I like giving 3.5 in that game. And I think I probably like the under too. I'll be honest. I think I'm all over the Patriots. I think we're going to see Patriots Rams. In fact, I might start making bets right now. So let me put that down. Let's stop that. Don't take my betting advice. Lori Powers, I think all 4 and 8 is just payments for blackmail. Chemtrails crazy today. Well, they admit the chemtrails are real. We all knew that. Conspiracy theorist right again. Yeah, 4 and 8 is just, it's totally corrupt. It's just, yeah, there's no doubt about that. Tony's Auto Works Off-Road. It looks like you got a serious YouTube channel over there, Tony. You do car stuff. Doing great, Owen. Went to 3 Summerfest. Wins the first Win Summerfest. Check out my Auto Builds YouTube channel, Tony Auto Works and Off-Road. So you do. There you go. I could tell by your logo you got something serious over there. Cool, man. Very cool. Did you see the concept, the Dodge, the new Hellcat concept? It's like a European concept. I don't know if they're actually going to do it. It's the Hemi wide body. There's no way they're going to do it. That would be the coolest car I've ever seen. That would be I'd sell my liver for that one. No, I'm joking. Maybe a kidney. You know what? This is crazy that you asked that. It's actually insane that you asked that today because I told you I was having some business conversations earlier, and it's like, okay, we got to push the pedal to the metal on some of this stuff. I was actually thinking about this, and maybe this is a sign, and maybe I need to take my own advice and just do it. I think what I'm going to do in August, I'm going to bring back the Summerfest, but it's going to be different. And since I'm totally independent, I can do it my own way. And what I think I want to do, and guys, let me say this. Let me see the interest level in this, because quite frankly, this is going to take a lot. It's going to take a lot to pull this off. And I don't want to do it if there's no interest. Like, I only want to do this if it's something you guys would want. I only want to do this if it's something you guys would actually want to be interested in. And asking you to travel to Austin, it's like, I'm not going to just, I'm not just going to do that if there's no interest. What I want to do, and I would like to do this every summer, actually. I'd like to do this every August. I want to do something, we'll call it Owen's Party or Owen's Party Summerfest, however you want to do it. And I want to rent a venue, and we'd have to sell tickets. And I wouldn't even want to do it for money, but I'd want it to at least pay for itself is what I would like. I'd like to be able to at least have it. I'd like to just have it pay for itself. So if I could formulate that and it be a success, I would do it every summer. But what I would like to do is rent a venue on, say, a Saturday night, and we'll call it Owen's Party. And basically, we would just have a party or a dance, even a dance party, whatever. And we do from like 7 o'clock till like 2 in the morning. And at 9 o'clock, I would do a DJ set for an hour from 9 to 10, and we'd call it 90s at 9. And I'd play 90s music for an hour. And then at 10 o'clock, I'd take a break and hang out, whatever, eat food, dance, talk, whatever, swim if we go and get a pool or something. And then at midnight, I would go back up. I would do a second DJ set, and I would play all EDM music. And by midnight, we're probably, ready to dance. So we'll like sing the 90s music at 9 o'clock for an hour. And then we dance to the EDM music from midnight to 1 o'clock. And then I'd sign off at 1 and then just, whatever, close out for the last hour, say our goodbyes, and then be done by 2. So I was thinking about doing that. It's crazy you would ask that, because I was actually thinking about that today. Calling it Owen's Party, doing it every August like we used to do Summerfest, but actually having like an enclosed venue so that I could have security and sell tickets and kind of manage the whole thing. So if you guys want me to do something like that, I'll do it. So there you go. I put it out there. When are we getting the Owen Fuentes collab? I don't know. I reached out to Nick. I asked him to come on. I said, let's do a collab. I didn't hear back. So that's fine. We can do it whenever. I'll collab with Nick. He's obviously pretty busy right now. I think he's traveling around. So I'm sure he gets a lot of incoming requests. So I don't really take it personally. If he doesn't respond or if he doesn't want to collab, it's no problem here. But I did send him a message. Josh Little, like and subscribe, guys. Share the channel with your family and friends. That's probably the only way we're getting our foreskins back. What about our 5 skins? Florida is closed primary. Register as Republican to vote fish back. Leon Scott Kennedy, been watching you since 2016. Keep it up, Owen. Thank you. Oh, you know what else I want to do? I want to do a homecoming show this year. And I've talked to a couple of friends about this. I need to find the studio space. I want to do a homecoming show in October. Maybe I want to do it before. I'm really itching to do this. Because, I talk to my old high school friends all the time. I want to do a homecoming show. And I want to go back to St. Louis. It'll be like a 7-hour broadcast. But I want to go to St. Louis. I want to do a homecoming show. And just invite anybody. Just invite any of my old friends from St. Louis. Grade school, high school. I'll invite some of the guys that I used to work with in media that are still there. Some of the old show hosts I used to produce for and work with. And do a homecoming show. And I'll just sit in studio for 7 hours and just have my old friends, my old buddies, my old coworkers, everybody just coming in and out for 7 hours. Just telling stories, laughing, whatever, politics, I really want to do a homecoming show. 101K, you hit the nail on the head with the disconnect. What I was alluding to was the close parental relationship. Well, that's totally different. I think that's just kind of up to, the parents and what they do. Rex's friend here from the UK, huge fan, soon to collab. Are you going to be joining me and Rex when we do the collab? Because that'd be cool with me. The more the merrier, I say. From the UK. La Bellissima Estate. Owen, are you friends with Matt Walsh? No, I've never talked to Matt. I've never had any communication with Matt. Judeo-Christian values don't exist, though that's bait. I'm not taking the bait, not on a Friday, not when we're trying to get off here. 101 Quay. Oil at the Owen party. Well, there probably would be some oil, actually. You can decide what that means. Ezo. Owen, thoughts on Davos this week? Any goblins stand out to you? Love the show. Well, my thought, I said this yesterday. I don't understand this whole MAGA likes Davos now. It's like now we like Davos. Now we're promoting Davos. Now we're, celebrating we get the access and everything. It's like we used to hate this. Now we like it? I don't know. It's a little weird for me. It seems like the only people that are staying consistent with the Davos coverage is the Rebel News Network and Vox Populi. Seems like everybody else is embracing Davos. Except the Rebel News is still out there heckling them. Vox Populi is still out there heckling them. And then I guess James O'Keefe is out there trolling them. But everybody else is like, oh, we're with Davos now. I'm like, what? It's very weird. Tosh Lusta, thank you. All right, final one, guys. Final one. I got to sign off. Owen, why do you want AOC's husband to be gay so bad? He your crush? From Dark Despair. I don't, what do I care if he's gay or not? I'm just telling you he is. All I'm saying is, if you were married to AOC, would you not be making babies? That's all I'm saying. And it's been years, no babies. So there's not going to be any babies. I'm saying there's not going to be any babies. I'm saying he's gay. Or you know what? Okay. Yeah. All right. We want him to be gay. We want him to be gay because maybe AOC will come back on the market, the big bully Latina. Maybe I'm rooting for Alex Stein to get his shot. You know? Maybe that's what we're rooting for. Your old debates on the streets were legendary. Judd, Ty, Bo, Parker. All right. That's it. That's it. Last one of the day. Thank you for that. Thank you for that. And you can still find those somewhere on YouTube. It's like we're 50-50, actually. I don't know if I want to put those up. Part of me was like, we need to put them all up. Another part of me is like, don't even do it for obvious reasons. You know what I mean? All right, Dark Despair. Just giving you a hard time. Love the show. Watch every day. Thank you. Hey, man, I just call it as I see it. And I'm just telling you, wouldn't you be, you know? Wouldn't there be babies in the equation here? So it's fine. Liberals don't make babies anyway now. So whatever. Whatever. All right, guys. There it is. We're closing out the week. Thanks to everybody for tuned in. God bless. Godspeed. Thanks for all the super chats. Oh, guys, remember the new show. I finally got the shirt in. The new shirt is up. All of the new USA Elite merchandise. That's the new USA logo that we have at OwenSchroyer.store. OwenSchroyer.store. All the new USA Elite merchandise is live now at OwenSchroyer.store. So if you like the logo, if you like the shirt, OwenSchroyer.store. That's where you can find it all. That's where it's at. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. God bless. Godspeed.